In this video, I actually got some of the craziest mutations on the carrot inside of Roblox Grow It Garden. Yes, the carrot, the first plant that you start the game with. I got all sorts of mutations on this thing and made one of the most valuable carrots in all of Roblox Grow It Garden. So make sure to watch until the very end of this video to see this carrot and how insane it is and how valuable it is. This Roblox Grow It Garden video will be getting every single mutation on a carrot. Yes, this was actually very highly requested for me to try and get every single mutation on a carrot, which is literally the most basic and cheapest plant in the game. All right, so the carrot should be a fairly easy one to get all mutations on. However, it will also be tricky at the same time because these things grow so fast. So it's going to be kind of a pain to actually get a carrot that is humongous. So I think our first plan of action is just getting these mooncats spawned in so we can have all 8 mooncats ready and charged up to take naps. The plan here is I'm going to get some sprinklers set up. So we're going to do it right in the middle of my garden here. So I'm going to put a master sprinkler down. We're going to put a godly sprinkler down, an advanced, and a basic to stack all of the effects. And I have about 72 carrot seeds, so these guys are about to cool down. So I'm gonna go ahead and put down a carrot here and a carrot here, and let's see. And I guess, you know, we'll just actually put down a couple carrots and see if any of these get in range and become a giant carrot. All right, I'm not seeing anything growing in that's massive. All right, I'm gonna spam over here. Let's grow all these, let's grow. Oh, there we go. All right, perfect, we got one. Here's our big carrot we're gonna be working with today. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move this guy over here, and just like we do, we're going to put on 5 mutations for this. Now, I want to say, because a lot of people were questioning in the comments, oh, Bandites, why do you get all these mutations and then you just have the butterfly reset them so you can get rainbow? There's a specific reason for that if you didn't know. The butterfly will only make a fruit rainbow if it has 5+ mutations. As you can see, it flies to a nearby fruit with 5+ mutations, removes all mutations from it, and turns it into rainbow. If we don't have at least 5 mutations, it is impossible for the butterfly to make this rainbow. So that is why we have to put 5 mutations on it, then let the butterfly put rainbow on it, and then get those mutations back. So we're not going to waste any time, though. We're going to go ahead and put that pollinated spray on it, chocolate spray, shock spray. We're going to get a honey glaze sprinkler on it, and finally, we're going to get our polar bears ready. And we're going to hopefully get chilled. That will be 5 mutations. And once we have 5 mutations, then again, the butterfly can do its thing. Oh, there we go. Literally the first polar bear actually got chilled on this thing. That never happens, but we have chilled on it. That was actually pretty easy today. So we have our carrot set up. We have all 5 mutations. These queen bees will save about 2 minutes of the butterfly's cooldown, get this thing to rainbow, and then we can move on with all the other mutations, weather effects, all that. All right, we're back. So our queen bee's about to finish her cooldown and then get our butterflies cooldown to 0. So we save about 2.5 minutes. Usually you can save about 5 with the queen bee to use the butterfly, but there we go. Queen bee is cooling down the butterfly. Butterfly is going in and making our carrot rainbow. And just like that, we now have a rainbow carrot. So we can go ahead and pick up these 2 pets for now, and then we can go ahead and get all of the mutations back on this that we just had. So we got shock, we got chocolate, we got pollinated, and then we can get that honey glaze sprinkler back on top of this, which will bring us back to 5 mutations, as you can see. And then today what we're going to do is something a little bit different from the other videos. We're actually going to be using some sea turtles, because the sea turtles have a chance to get this plant wet. They have a cooldown of only 1.5 minutes. So we're going to let these guys get this thing wet, and once it's wet, we're going to put our polar bears down so then we can easily get this thing to frozen, and we can skip a couple of the weather events and save some time overall. All right, and here we go. Let's see it. Oh, they're doing flips. 2 of them failed. 3 of them failed. Come on, one of you guys have to get the mutation on this thing. It can't be that hard. Oh, let's go. Shano just did his little flip, and he got wet on the carrot. These guys are doing their flips, but we're good. We have wet, so the sea turtles serve their purpose. I thank you guys for that. I'm going to go ahead and pick all of you up now, and then we're going to go ahead and make sure we max out on the polar bears just so we can get chilled and then get this thing to frozen as soon as we can. Oh, let's go. Polar bear applied mutation, chilled the carrot. It is officially frozen. That took a little bit longer than I was hoping, but that's fine. We got this thing to frozen, and that will save us some time on the events overall. So now we can get the rest of our pets set up here. Let's go ahead and get our chicken zombies out. We're going to use 2 chicken zombies to start things off with, and we're also going to go ahead and get 2 disco bees out. All right, there we go. And then we'll go ahead and get at least 2 cooked owls out for now as well. And finally, we'll get a couple of our scarlets out. And now we should be maxed out, and then we should hopefully be able to get zombified, disco, cooked or burnt, and also the new verdant mutation from the Scarlets. All right, Brighter is in here ready to queue up some events for us to get this thing fully mutated. This is going to be the most expensive carrot I think anybody has ever seen in Roblox Grow a Garden. At least I hope, you know, I hope. All right, we're starting off strong with the space travel event where we can get the Galactic mutation. Hopefully we actually get it today. We've been having a lot of trouble getting this one, so we're just gonna let it passively work its magic and hopefully we get Galactic. All right, and on top of the space travel, we do have night, so hopefully we can see this thing get moonlit. And again, whatever mutations we don't get, Brighter will help us add on to it in the very end, but we try to get as many mutations as we possibly can legit. Just like that, we got moonlit. That's legit right there, see? All right, that's blasting my face, but that's one Galactic event done. Here is the next Galactic event. Please, 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 can we get the Galactic mutation on this thing today? This is a very difficult one to get, and it's gone. Well, again, we did not get Galactic today, but we do have a chance to get the alien invasion mutation. So hopefully we get alien-like. This is another one that's very, very difficult to get. I think this one's easier to get than Galactic, but we'll see. Also, look at this. We got the paradise egg in the shop right now. Let me go ahead and cop one of these. All right, so we're up to 7 mutations already, but I'd like this to go up to 8 mutations by either getting a pet to mutate it or an alien, like one of you guys in space. Oh, wait, yo, it's happening. It's happening. That was officially alien-like being added onto it. I think me yelling at the aliens made them upset, so they came down to give me alien-like. Okay, aliens are gone, and now Jandel is here. And I don't think we can get plasma still, actually, thinking about it, because I don't think you can get plasma unless his laser touches your crops, and his laser just gets stuck in front of the gear shop. Come on, last cooked owl. Cooked owl, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. He got burnt on it. All right, that's what I'm talking about. We finally got a pet to do something. And Jandel Heavenly event is here. So hopefully we get Heavenly added onto this beautiful carrot of ours. I'm going to go ahead, though, and pick up these cooked owls to get them out of the way. And with that, I guess we'll go ahead and add some more chicken zombies, since these are definitely more difficult to get out of all of the pets we have. And we will add in another disco bee to the mix as well. And that should increase our chances for disco and chicken zombie. All right, no heavenly mutation yet. I kind of wish these tanning mirrors would reflect the light off of the Jandel heavenly event and give you heavenly. I feel like that would make a lot of sense. Oh, a big volcano is here to erupt molten onto our carrot. Hopefully we actually get one of these molten balls to just drop right into our garden and molten this thing up. All right, come on. Come on, molten balls.
Huh?
Let's go. That like skimmed it. Was that... That wasn't enough, though. But what, they keep bouncing to the side. Oh, that's right on it. There's no way that didn't get it molten. Come on. Is that molten? Let's go. Okay, that was it. That's in. We got molten, baby. We're good. All right, the volcanoes are gone, and it is time for the black hole. Hopefully, we get void touched in this. Please. Please, void touch. Please. Maybe to help, I'll move this thing closer to the presence of the black hole, and then maybe the black hole will be nice enough to get us void touched.
Nope.
What's next? Oh, we got celestial shooting stars. This one should be pretty easy. I'm gonna go ahead and make this even easier by troweling this right on top of one of the star crawlers that it literally just went to. All right, that should be easy, celestial. There we go. We got celestial. This thing is beefed up to 11 mutations on our carrot. That's some really good progress. Oh, one of our scarlets just applied verdant to our carrot, which means we can get this thing paradisal, and then we'll also be able to get this thing sun-dried, so that'll be a good combo. So, we're gonna go ahead and pick up these parrots. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and add... Do we have another chicken zombie? Yeah, let's add one more chicken zombie into the mix, and one more disco bee into the mix. Oh, look at that, we're on a streak. Disco bee just applied disco mutation to our carrot. Let's go. These pets are actually helping us out today. I'm happy about that. All right, well, since we got disco, we do not need these other disco bees anymore. All we need are these chicken zombies, which have pretty long cooldowns. So what we can go ahead and do, though, is use the queen bees that we have. And these queen bees will give us cooldowns on the chicken zombies. So far, this thing is looking nice. And we're now on to wind, which is, I guess we got the gale one. I didn't know this was a thing instead of just regular wind, but it says super high wind struck chance. I don't know, for some reason when I moved my plant last time towards the middle of the map like this, It seemed to get us wind. Look at that, bro. I don't know why doing that. Last time I did it as well, it could just be pure coincidence. But as soon as I moved it towards the middle of the map, like the windstruck just hit it. I don't know why. And I noticed on my main account garden that all of my windstruck mutations are right here on this line. They're not really back here as much in the back of the garden. But now we're up to 14 mutations on the carrot. Oh, it's tornado season, I guess. The tornadoes are here. And because the tornado event was updated pretty nicely and they spawn in multiple, I think this one should be pretty easy to get twisted. Let's go ahead and prepare to trowel our carrot into the tornadoes when they get close. Buddy, come on, this way. Hey, over here. Yeah. Come on. Come on, this way. Okay, these tornadoes, they just play with my feelings a lot of the time, and it's really hurtful. Oh, let's go. This one's not playing with my feelings. This one's serious. This one's serious. You're serious, right? You spawned right into my carrot, and you got us twisted. Let's go. Thank you. Let me give you a firm handshake. Come here. Yeah, there we go. Nice firm handshake. All right, so we are now in the heat wave event, and I literally paused my recording for a second, and when I was trying to restart it, I saw 2 sunbeams hit my tanning mirrors. So let's see. Did we get Paradisal? Yes, we did. We got Paradisal, which that took Verdant, and it combined it with Sun-Dried to get us Paradisal, and then that one actually just hit. So now we should have Paradisal, and we should have Sun-Dried. There we go. So I don't know if you can get Verdant again. I know you can get Paradisal and Sun-Dried together, but I don't know if you can get Verdant again, because I think you'll just combine and try to make it only into Paradisal again. All right, it is meteor time. Let's see if we can get meteoric. Hopefully one of these meteors strike right on our carrot. Just like that. Exactly. Perfect. Was that it? Did we get it? Let's see. No. Oh, that one's right on top of that. That should have given us meteoric. Let's see it. Yes, let's go. We got meteoric on this thing. So we are up to 17 mutations on our carrot. The only ones we are missing are Galactic, Plasma, Heavenly, Bloodlit, Void Touched, Zombified, and technically Verdant. We did have Verdant on this, but it got mixed into Paradisal, so we're just going to ask him to add it onto there. We're also going to ask him to add on Dawnbound, just so we have everything on the carrot. So we're going to pick this thing up, and we're going to give this to Brighter to add the rest of his magic onto the carrot, so we have every mutation, and we can see the value. Oh, also, before Brighter adds these mutations onto our carrot, I wanted to point out that he does not change the size of the carrot. A lot of people were commenting, wondering why I would give Brighter my fruit if he's just going to turn it small when he has all the mutations. That's not the case. This thing is still at the weight that it was at and the size that it was at when it was in my garden. The only thing that happens when you pick it up is that it just becomes smaller because Grow Garden visually downsizes the plant in your hand, because when it has all those mutations and that big of a size, the game will get very laggy. So this still has the same size. It is just not visually big in my hand while I hold it. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and give Brighter our carrot to add the mutations onto it. All right, so he's adding on those mutations that we just said a second ago, and I'm going to go ahead and accept that. Thank you so much, Brighter, as always. By the way, I think there may be problem with like many mutations, like having all mutations in sell price. I guess that would make sense on why a lot of these every mutation videos, people guesstimate the price to be even more. But Brighter said that hopefully all of this will be fixed the next update, which would be fantastic. We can at least see what the carrot is worth with all the mutations on it currently. All right, so Steven, what is this carrot worth with every single mutation on it inside of Roblox Grow a Garden? We're going to go ahead and ask the man to give us the value. And this thing is valued at 32 million. Which honestly is not bad for this being a carrot. The base carrot literally sells for, and this one's also a little bit bigger, 31. So the fact that we were able to get a carrot that sells for only around 30 shekels all the way up to 32 million is a pretty big jump. So let me know what you guys think. Was this carrot worth getting all the mutations on it? I think it definitely would be for newer players, but for some of the more advanced players in the billions, definitely not worth it for you guys, as no one really would care to get a carrot this many mutations, but I did it for this video. All right, so first things first is I'm actually gonna go ahead and spawn in my apple gazelle here, and we're gonna spawn in my 3 mandrakes, and we're actually gonna go ahead and pick up these sugar apples that have the wet mutation on them and that are boring and kind of gross over here to try and get the warp mutation. There we go. We have the warp mutation that just spread to this sugar apple here. So our apple gazelle is actually done. We can go ahead and pick that guy up. We're going to go ahead then and spawn in an advanced sprinkler right here. And we're going to throw down some mandrake seeds. And we're just going to keep watering these and trying to get the rot mutation from our mandrakes real quick. All right, we didn't get any there. Let's try it again. All right, we just got to do this a couple of times until we get that rot mutation. Come on. You know what? I'm going to boost these guys. They're not boosted. That would probably help. All right. Now let's... Oh, yeah, look at that. Literally right away once they're boosted. All right, so we have the rot mutation applied to one of our sugar apples over here. All right, so we are good. I'm going to go ahead and pick up the rest of these. And we can go ahead now and pick up our mandrakes to get them out of the way. And we are good to go with the actual broccoli. So let's go ahead and place our broccoli down. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up by using my main account to grow all. All right, there we go. Here is our broccoli plant. So there's a couple of different broccolis on it. We have 3 broccolis at once, but now we're going to go ahead and get our sprinklers down to get a big broccoli. So let's do our Grandmaster, Master, Godly, Advanced, and Basic sprinklers. And there we go. We're going to also go ahead and spawn in all of our Mooncats here. And we'll spawn in 1 Triceratops to hopefully give us a big broccoli. This guy will smack it, and we should get a big one. And then we can hit grow all again to finish the growth. But yeah, let's go ahead and wait. Let's see if we get a big broccoli to grow in. And hopefully we get a nice one so we can make a lot of good money today with these mutations and the big broccoli that we're about to grow. Because this is pathetic right here, okay? All right, we got some Mooncats sleeping. This is a good group right here. Oh, we got some more over here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and throw it in this group, though, of like 3 stacked Mooncats. And it's pretty close to the sprinkler still, so that should help it get affected even more. Oh, yeah, there we go. We're getting a big broccoli to grow in. We're just going to see if we get any other growths. Okay, there's one actually growing right here. It looks to be a gold one, but it doesn't look as big as this one, but we'll look at them whenever they're actually grown in. What the heck, bro? That thing is puny compared to these two. What? Why is this one even trying? All right, Triceratops is coming in. Boom. Oh, there we go. That's way better. What the heck, dude? This thing is huge. Wait, this thing is really long, but what is this one then? This one's just like a little stubby guy. Is he going to be as big or bigger than that? I guess we'll see. Let's go ahead and just hit the grow all button again and just see what we get here. Oh my gosh, bro. Look at how big these broccolis are. That thing is huge. That one goes way out there. All right, we definitely have our broccoli. That is crazy. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and favorite this one then, just so we don't pick it up. Yeah, this one just needed some motivation because this guy got extremely big. But this one is definitely our biggest one. So we're gonna pick up these 2 and we are good. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up all of our pets here. Let's go ahead and get some mutations on this so we can get it ready to become rainbow. So I'm gonna throw a Windstruck spray on that. We'll throw a pollinated on it, a chocolate, and we'll save the rest of our sprays on this account, and then we'll come over here on our main account and we'll spray it with a, let's see here, we'll spray with a verdant spray and a cloud touch spray. There we go. And now this thing has 5 mutations that can be converted to rainbow. So we're going to go ahead and spawn in our queen bee, our butterfly, and the queen bee will cool down our butterfly and convert this thing to rainbow. We're also going to go ahead and spawn in our golden goose here so we can get a fortune egg ready, and we're also gonna go ahead and spawn in our Raiju so we can get the static mutation done. And then with that, we're gonna spawn in a carrot seed. We're gonna bring our main account over here to use one of its shock sprays on the carrot. There we go. And then I'm also going to go ahead and just place a couple more carrots in front of this. So the Raiju will eat this shocked carrot, and then it will slam the static mutation into these carrots. Our AFK setup for the next like 15 or so minutes is ready. It'll probably be about 10 minutes because we're going to boost our queen bee, get the butterfly to cool down, get this rainbow, and then we'll wait to get our fortune egg, and we'll get the static mutation done. So this will get a couple mutations done so we could be ready for the rest of our pets in just a minute here. And I guess while we're at it, since these guys have pretty short cooldowns, I guess we can go ahead and just spawn in our pterodactyl now as well to work on getting tempestuous. Since he has a pretty quick cooldown, we can get these guys done out of the way before this even gets rainbow. So I'll save some time in a couple minutes. So we're good to go. We're gonna go ahead and let this get rainbow, let these guys do their things, and we'll be back in just a minute. All right, real quick, our Kitsune is running in to apply the chakra mutation, and it applied it to one of the sugar apples, which is good. We don't want it to get on this broccoli because that's about to go to rainbow. So we have the chakra mutation ready to go, and we'll get that moved over later. And our pets on this account, of course, are still waiting for their cooldowns. Our Raiju will be done in a few minutes. We have to reboost the pterodactyl because the toy was off by a little bit, and then the golden goose we're going to boost in a little bit, and that'll be done as well. All right, our Raiju just ate our shocked carrot and applied static only to our sugar apples, which is surprising. I put all these carrots here for him to just not want them, but that's fine. At least we got it on some sugar apples, so we're good. Our Raiju's done. We're going to reboost our pterodactyl, get tempestuous done, hopefully, and out of the way, and then our golden goose will lay its egg. And that will be some of our, I guess, guaranteed mutations done and out of the way, and then we'll have a little bit less to worry about in a minute when we start with all of these guys down here. I guess I could start adding in some of these other pets as well. I want to do the peach wasp, but that will make our queen bee target that, so I'm going to skip that for now. But I guess we could also spawn in our lemon lion here to get the brain rot mutation done now, since it's only a 5-minute cooldown. But all right, there we go. So we got twisted and windstruck on a sugar apple, which means we have tempestuous added into the mix over there. So our pterodactyl is done, and then our golden goose is going to lay its egg next. And you know what? I guess since we have the lemon lion going to get brain rot, hopefully it doesn't add it to our big broccoli. I'm going to go ahead and also get a phoenix in here because the phoenix has about the same cooldown, and these guys will be done before we actually get this to convert to rainbow. Actually, you know what? If we boost the queen bee, I think, yeah. So we'll have rainbow in about 4 minutes, but this will, again, just give us a little bit of a head start with our guaranteed pets and their mutations, so that's fine. All right, so yeah, we'll get flaming done next, and then we'll also get brain rot done next, but our butterfly still has the biggest cooldown, so our queen bee will cool this down and still give us rainbow, so we'll be good. But anyways, our golden goose is going to give us a fortune egg that we can make scrambled eggs out of. Get the fortune mutation out of. Thank you. I'm going to pick you up now and put this golden fortune egg over here because this will be where our spinos eat. I'm also going to rotate this broccoli plant because it's kind of in the way of where we normally put our platter. So let me do that real quick. I'll go into my main account's garden with it. And then we could go ahead and move our golden fortune egg over here. All right. Well, good-ish timing, I guess. We have a heat wave event going on, and our tanning mirror is placed here, so I guess it won't really matter too much because these broccoli should be able to get sun-dried done out of the way. But this is about to turn into a rainbow broccoli. Now it's paradisal, but thankfully it is still 5 mutations and it didn't just eat one of them, because then we would have almost missed our opportunity there. But we're good. So our queen bee is about to be done with its cooldown. It'll cool down our butterfly and turn this thing into rainbow. And then also in the mix, our phoenix is almost done with flaming, and that will be applied to probably these carrots. And then our lemon lion's about to give us brain rot, so we have some good stuff happening. Hopefully the brain rot doesn't get applied to the broccoli. I mean, if it does, not a big deal, but that would be unfortunate, I guess. But there we go. Queen bee's done, pulling down our butterfly. Butterfly is going to go ahead and convert this to rainbow now, and thankfully we got brain rot onto a sugar apple, so we're good. And our broccoli is now rainbow, so we are good with some of these pets. Let's go ahead and pick up our queen bee, butterfly, lemon lion, and then our phoenix will give us flaming next. All right, so we can go ahead and favorite this broccoli now that it is good to go and get some mutations on it. We can reapply our pollinated to it. We can reapply our chocolate to it. We're gonna go ahead and get our honey sprinkler on to it. Perfect. So now it is honey glazed as well. And let's go ahead and get our main account back over here to apply some mutations directly to it. So we're gonna apply the shocked spray to it. We're going to apply verdant back onto it. We're gonna apply cloud touched, luminous, and glimmering. And now this thing is up to 9 mutations, and we're about to have a lot more with our pets adding mutations and our spinos moving those mutations over as well. And there we go. Our phoenix is applying the flaming mutation to a bunch of our sugar apples and this carrot. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick up this carrot to get that out of the way. So with that, we can go ahead now and get started with the rest of our mutations here. So I'm gonna pick up this phoenix. Let's go ahead and spawn in our cockatrice for the toxic mutation. We're gonna spawn in, we'd already used you. We're gonna spawn in our peach wasp to get the plasma mutation done, our giant badger to get the cracked mutation done. We need our corrupt kitsune so we can get corrupt chakra or foxfire corrupt chakra done. We're gonna spawn in some jackalope so we can get sandy done and out of the way. And what else can we spawn in that is guaranteed? We did get some of them out of the way. I guess we can spawn in our grizzly bears because these guys got to give us the fall mutation, and these aren't really guaranteed, but we can get them done. All right, so this is a decent setup here to get some of our mutations done. I'm gonna go through my inventory and make sure I'm not missing anyone. There's just so many pets now that I forget. I guess we'll do kappas after that. Oh, we gotta get our swan done. So you know what? I guess I'll pick up one of these grizzly bears for now and throw the swan in there just because that's guaranteed to get graceful. All right, so the cracked mutation has just been applied to a ton of stuff here. I'm gonna go ahead and pick this guy up. Since it's done. Bro, you're good. You don't need to keep applying it. You're good. He's gonna keep applying it anyways. But we have a bunch of cracked carrots, a bunch of cracked sugar apples, and a cracked golden egg, so we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and just pick up these carrots just to save some time later, since we have cracked on so much stuff now. Yeah, he applied it to 22 fruits, bro. That you're good. We got it, man. We understood. I guess I'll do another grizzly bear. Let's just try to get fall out of the way, and then we can focus on these guys that we have down here. But yeah, let's try to get fall done. And yeah, we have a decent setup here, so we're just gonna wait around and get these mutations done and out of the way. All right, perfect. Our jackalope just applied sandy to this carrot, so we can go ahead and get our jackalopes out of the way. Let's go ahead and move this over here. I guess since our jackalopes are done, let's go ahead and spawn in a spriggan so we can get bloom done, and we'll also spawn in our kappas here to get bloodlet done. And I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in some more carrot seeds just so both the spriggans and the kappas have an easier time to get bloodlet and bloom done. All right, so let's go ahead and reboost that swan to get graceful done. All right, graceful is being applied. It is on the sugar apple over here, so we are good. Thank you to our swan for the graceful mutation, and hopefully we can get fall done now so we can have an extra 2 pet slots. All right, failed. All right, we're gonna have to wait a while for these grizzly bears, I guess. It's so loud. Turn it down. All right, but since our spawn is done, I guess I'll go ahead and spawn in our first disco bee here to start working on trying to get disco done. And as we get more of these pets done, I'll add more disco bees in, and then we'll do our chicken zombies. And then after that, we should be good to go for our AFK setup. All right, well, this will give us another pet slot here. Our cockatrice is going to apply toxic to some of our fruits now. All right, so we got it on one of the broccolis, actually, and one of these carrots here. And I think we got it on a sugar apple, but since it's on that broccoli, we're good. We can go ahead and pick up the cockatrice now. It's an extra pet slot. So I guess with that extra pet slot, I'll throw in another disco bee so we can start working on getting disco done. All right, perfect. Our bear just roared in my ear, and he applied the fall mutation to our golden egg, so that is done. And we also just got a free cooldown from our peach wasp onto our disco bee, so that helps as well. But since these grizzly bears are now done, we have the fall mutation. We can get them out of the way, and we can go ahead and spawn in 2 more disco bees to try and get disco done. Once disco is done, we'll focus on getting zombified done. So that is good. All right, randomly an earthquake just started happening, but it is nighttime. It is that 4-hour mark, so we are good to go. And again, if you want to know when events like this are going to happen, you could join my Discord, discord.gg/bandites, and there's a bot in there. It'll tell you when events are happening and all the good stuff, okay? But anyways, we are getting a nighttime event, so once we get moonlit at least on one thing, then we are good to go. We'll probably get it on multiple, of course, because that's just how it is. You get moonlit on so much. You know, we also have a night staff, a couple of them. So I'm going to throw this over here so we can try to just get it on the broccoli directly. Oh, okay. Well, we got it on a sugar apple, so we are good. We have moonlit done, and that will be another mutation we can add on to our broccoli shortly. I'm going to go ahead and boost our corrupt kitsune and get that done and out of the way so we can start spawning in some chicken zombies. And then we have some disco bees almost done, so I'm going to boost these guys to hopefully give us disco. Our spriggan still has quite a while, and our peach wasp still has quite a while, but once those guys are out of the way, again, we'll replace them with some chicken zombies. But we are good. We got moonlit done, and we just have this random earthquake now that is running through everything. Ah, perfect. We got disco done on the sugar apples. That'll save us some time, and we can get started with the chicken zombies. But there we go. We got corrupt chakra on a sugar apple and a carrot. I'm going to go ahead and just pick up this carrot because we have it on that sugar apple. So let's pick up the corrupt kitsune. Let's pick up our disco bees here, and let's go ahead and spawn in our chicken zombies now so we can get started with trying to get zombified done. All right, there we got 5 chicken zombies. They have about a 20-minute cooldown, but I'm sure one of them will help us get zombified out of the way. Our peach wasp is finally almost done. Our spriggan is finally almost done. I will have to reboost him, but I was testing his cooldown out with a toy. And then our kappa will hopefully apply bloodlet now. Let's go ahead and just wait a second here to see if our kappa will give us bloodlet. If he does, we can go ahead and swap him out for the gnome and try to get gnome done early, and that will give us a slot later so we can work on getting these spinos to start moving everything over to our broccoli. But let's just quickly see if he'll give us bloodlet. Hopefully he just wants pancakes really bad and sticks around the spot, but he's moving. Hey, buddy, come back over here. The pancakes need you. We're not done with you over here. Come here. Yeah, come here, buddy.
Nope.
No, bad. Kappa, come here, dude. Come here, dude. What are you doing? No, Kappa, over here, man. All right, he's definitely not gonna give us bloodlet unless he runs over here. He's just hovering over here. He's being goofy, and nothing happened because he wasn't over here. All right, well, I guess it was worth a shot, but our peach wasp is about to be done with this cooldown and give us plasma finally, so we can swap it out with the gnome, and then I guess the spriggan we can swap out with like a mimic octopus or something to try and get zombified done a little bit faster. All right, peach wasp, go ahead and give us plasma, gliding over to a carrot. Which carrot do you like, buddy? This one? Good choice, good choice. All right, we got plasma on the carrot. We can go ahead and pick up the peach wasp and throw this over here in the mix. Cool. All right, so that's done. I'm gonna go ahead and spawn another kappa so we can get bloodlet done out of the way, and then once the spriggan's done, we'll throw in the gnome, and then of course we have a while for these chicken zombies. All right, so real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and boost my spriggan since he's right here. Let's go ahead and get bloom on one of these carrots, or a lot of these carrots, I guess. All right, well, it's on this one with the sandy, so that's fine. And I'm gonna actually just pick up some of these. If they have wet on them, I'm gonna keep them there just so we can have better chance for getting bloodlet done. So I guess we'll keep some of these with bloom on them. But all right, we are good. We can go ahead and pick up the spriggan now. I'm gonna boost the kappa, and actually I guess I can boost both of the kappas. That one's still needs a while, bro. As soon as I boost them, they run away. Actually, this is the one we need right here. Mally, come on, give us bloodlet, please. Buddy, stop running away. Stop running away from your problems. All right, thank you. Oh, hey, stop, bro. All right, stay right there. Give us bloodlet, please. All right, we got bloodlet on 3 fruits. Thank you. And there we go. We have bloodlet done. So the kappas are good. We can go ahead and pick up these guys here. And I'm going to go ahead and spawn in my gnome now to try and get gnome done a little bit early. And let's go ahead and spawn in a queen bee to help with our chicken zombies and also a mimic octopus. And then with that, once we get zombified done, we'll be officially ready for our AFK setup. Okay, first try, we got gnome applied to a carrot, so that's perfect. The gnome mutation is done. And now our chicken zombies, all of them are about to be done with their cooldowns. So let's see if we get zombified done. All right, first one failed. All the other ones have about a minute left. So let's just see if we can get zombified done. But that was very useful that we got that done pretty quick. All right, failed. What about these other guys here? We have 3 more. Come on, zombified. One of you. Failed. All right, 2 more. Katie or Bella, let's go. Let's get zombified done. Failed. All right, and failed. All right, well, they all failed, but that's fine. What we're gonna go ahead and do then is pick up all these. Let's go ahead and pick up everything we have except 1 chicken zombie, so we'll leave this one here, Shano, and let's go ahead and get ready for our AFK setup then. So we're gonna spawn in a Tranquil Scarlet for the Tranquil mutation, Corrupted Scarlet for Corrupt, Space Squirrel for Void Touched, a Griffin for Cyclonic, which can give us Maelstrom or Storm Charged, our Aromatic Spaghetti Sloth, which can give us Meatball Sauce and Pasta to get Spaghetti, and then Aromatic as the shard is on it. And there we go. We have 6 pets done, so we got to go ahead and spawn in our Junk Bot to get oil, and we got to spawn in our Lobster to give us Molten and Meteoric, which can also give us Infernal and Blazing. So there we go. Those are all of our AFK pets set, and what we're going to go ahead and do is just AFK, and once we get at least one of these pets completely done, we'll spawn in a Spino, and we'll replace it with the Spinosaurus, and then the more pets we get done will be replaced with more Spinosauruses until we have an army of Spinos, and then everything will get moved over to our broccoli. So we'll check back in a little bit, see what mutations we get done, replace them with Spinos, and then we'll fulfill our AFK grind and have the best broccoli and grow a garden. All right, so I just got back from our first AFK wave, and at some point I disconnected. My internet just died, I guess, while I was AFK. So that is not fun. However, we did get some stuff done. So we do have 2 Cyclonic carrots, which means we can probably get this Tempestuous carrot to try and get Maelstrom and Cyclonic. I don't think you can stack them anymore, but it's worth a shot. If I hit the right order with the Spinos, then maybe. But anyways, with that, we also got a Molten Shocked carrot here. We got a few Molten carrots, actually. So that's nice. So I'm actually going to go ahead and, since we had those Cyclonic carrots, I'm going to go ahead and pick up this Griffin here. And then on our golden egg here, we actually did get zombified, which is nice. So I can go ahead and pick up our chicken zombie as well. And then looking through here, we did get another Cyclonic. Well, we already have 2, right? Yeah, so we have a lot of Cyclonic fruits, but we can go ahead and pick up some of these. Another Molten. This one has Pasta on it, so I will keep this. So Pasta is done. Let me go ahead and check that off my list over here real quick. Let's see if we got anything on the golden, or the, not the golden apples, the sugar apples, which right here I instantly jumped up, and there's oil. So oil is done. Let me go ahead and pick up our Junk Bot. What is happening? Oh, Sun God event. Wow, I did not expect that. So let's check our other plants here. We did get Meatball done, so that is another one we could check off the list. And we got Sauce done, so we actually have all these spaghetti mutations. We just need Aromatic. So if we do see Aromatic in the mix somewhere, then we are done with our Spaghetti Sloth. Oh, and we got Meteoric done. I didn't realize. Okay, so we have Meteoric done, so I can go ahead and cross that off as well. So our Lobster is actually done with its job. So yeah, I think we still need Aromatic, Tranquil, Corrupt, and Void Touch, because I do not see Void Touch as well. So we made some good progress, though. I am going to go ahead and pick up these other carrots here just to get some of these extra mutations out of the way. And now we have a clean palette to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and place some more carrot seeds just to make it easier for my pets. So we get Tranquil, Corrupt, Aromatic, and Void Touch, possibly. Actually, these guys have pretty much infinite reach, so it shouldn't really matter, but just in case, even if we get some events, it would be nice. So we now have 4 pet slots available to use. So with that, all right, make sure that's favorited, because we're going to go ahead and bring in our 2 Mega Spinosauruses and 1 regular Spinosaurus here to start eating away at all the mutations and moving them over to our broccoli plant. And then we're also going to spawn in our Ascended Mooncat to work on getting that Dawnbound mutation. Now, this guy's literally going to take about 6 hours to get Dawnbound done, but when we boost him, it'll probably be like 5 or 4 hours, but right now it's like 6 p.m. so it's going to be close to midnight when we're done with this, but at least we'll have the progress made, so that'll be good. Now all we're going to do is go ahead and wait for our Spinos to move everything over. We're going to wait to get these last couple of mutations, and then we'll be ready to check the value of our big broccoli. So it's time to go AFK for a little bit longer. I'll see you guys soon. All right, so we went AFK for maybe about like 5 or 6 hours to make sure we got Dawnbound added, and we got everything else moved over from our Spinosauruses. And here is our broccoli. This thing is actually insane. Like, it is so big and crazy looking, and it has a lot of mutations on it. So if we actually unfavored it here, we can see all of the mutations added to our broccoli. We actually have a total of 39 mutations, and then if we separate some of these, like spaghetti would be up to about 41 mutations. Ceramic would bring us to about 43 mutations. Abyssal, 44 mutations. Harmonized Chakra, 45. Gloom, 46. Paradisal, 47. Storm Charged would bring us to about 49 49, and Infernal, I believe, would bring us to about 51 mutations on this broccoli. So this thing is actually insane. It's huge, has a lot of mutations on it, so I think it's got to be worth some good money. So first, we're going to check with the magnifying glass to see how much this thing is actually worth, and then we're going to spawn in our raptors to see if we can amber on it and see if that boosts the price at all. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pull out our magnifying glass and see how much our broccoli is worth in 3, 2, 1. All right, so this broccoli with all of these mutations and at this size is worth 2.2 trillion, which is pretty good for this being like the first fruit that you can buy in the friendship tier of the shop. So honestly, not bad. And this thing grew pretty big, pretty fast. Like it didn't really take much effort to get this thing this big. However, it did take a lot of effort for the mutations, but overall 2.2 trillion is pretty good for this piece of broccoli. So let's go ahead now and spawn in our raptors to see if we can get amber. And if we can, that might actually boost our mutations up a little bit. So let's spawn in all of our raptors here and they're all boosted. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pick it up and see if we get amber. And wow, look at that. We actually got amber the first time in a while. Like, look at how crazy this thing is, dude. I don't even see it anymore. It's just flashing lights. It's so crazy and insane. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my main account and let's see how much amber actually bumped up the price of this thing. So give me a second to bring my main in here. All right, so all we're going to do to check the updated value is give a trading ticket to my main account here. And we're going to just put it in the trade menu and see how big this thing is. Okay, so it's actually not going to show me what the full value is. Surprisingly, it went down and it only shows 1.9 trillion. And I believe if we actually bring this thing over to Steven here and we see how much it's worth, it's only going to cap at 1 trillion. Oh no, actually it shows 1.9 trillion. So for whatever reason, getting the amber mutation actually made this thing go down in value, I guess, or the size for some reason got affected and it's actually not as big as it's supposed to be. I don't know. That's interesting. I don't know why it went down in price. It should go up, but I guess we do have another mutation added on to this piece of broccoli, so that's that. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and plant the cocoa mango right here, and we're also gonna go ahead and plant some sugar apples, and we're gonna do what we did last video to make this a little bit easier to get some of the mutations out of the way. So I'm gonna plant 5 more sugar apple trees here, and then all we're gonna go ahead and do is go to my main account, and we're gonna actually hit that grow all button, so that way our cocoa mango will grow, but also our sugar apples, and you'll see why we're doing this. Hold on. All right, so we have some pretty newbie cocoa mangoes, but we're going to get rid of these. We're going to actually get a pretty good one in a second. But first, before we do that, we're going to use our apple gazelle, and we're going to use this guy to just get us the warp mutation done and out of the way. So we're going to pick up some sugar apples until we get warped. Oh, and actually we had a golden egg in our inventory, so we just got fortune on one of our sugar apples here. So I will make sure I favorite that real quick, so we won't actually have to use our golden goose. All right, we got warped on one of our sugar apples. It's this one over here that's actually not even spawned in, but warped is there. So once that regrows, we'll have it. So I'm gonna go ahead and move this warped sugar apple over here. We're also gonna move this fortune sugar apple over here. I'll move this one as well since it already, we're gonna get a lot of glimmerings, but I guess I can go ahead and move this one as well since it already has glimmering on it to our little buffet platter. So I'm gonna pick up the rest of these sugar apples here and we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the apple gazelle, and let's go ahead and pick up these cocoa mangoes since these are too small for us. And we're gonna go ahead and spawn in our moon cats here, and we're also going to get a triceratops spawned in to help with some growth. And then let's go ahead and get our sprinklers on here. So we're going to put down a grandmaster sprinkler. We're going to put down a master, godly, advanced, and basic. And then hopefully this will all help give us some pretty big cocoa mangoes here. And then we can go ahead and get started with getting all the mutations. So let's try to get our moon cats asleep in a good group here. Let's see. Okay, there's a couple going like right here. I'm gonna do right here because there's 2 of them. Okay, that's actually a pretty big cocoa mango there, so that's a good sign, but we got to get bigger than that. I think we can get way bigger than that with the moon cats sleeping on it, but I don't think that's gonna be big enough for us. We need bigger. Yeah, like that. That's looking a little bit bigger. So we're gonna delete this one. We're gonna keep doing this until we get a really big one. This one's a better size, but I think we can get even bigger than that. So let's just keep trying this until we get a big one, and then we can start getting some mutations put onto this thing. Okay, here's an even bigger cocoa mango growing. So we're just getting bigger and bigger as we go up. This one might be our winner, but we're going to try to get one more to grow in pretty big. I will put this on the mooncats one more time. We'll see what we get, but I'm going to keep deleting these smaller ones. But yeah, I think this cocoa mango might be our winner here. This thing is humongous. All right, can we get a good group of mooncats to sleep on it? Okay, there's like 3 of them. Come on, come on, come on. Pile up right here. Pile up right here. Go to bed. Go to bed. Go to bed. Oh, they're all moving around. All right, these 2 are pretty close in size. However, this one is still bigger, I think. So I think we might have our winner here. This thing is just growing in real nicely. So, I'm stuck inside of it. I'm being crushed. Okay, this is a pretty big Coco Mango right here. I don't know which one's gonna be bigger. What the heck? All right, so I can't honestly tell which one's bigger. They're both very close in size. I would do a stud count, but it's kind of hard to tell because this one's all glimmering and magical. I almost want to say this one's bigger right here. They're either the same size or this one's slightly bigger. Oh wait, they have faces on them. Forgot. We can count the studs on the faces. Okay, yeah, this one has about like 5.5 almost studs on the face, and this one only has about 5. So this one's definitely bigger right here. So I think we have our winning Coco Mango. I'm gonna go and pick these ones up, and here we go. Here's our beautiful Coco Mango here. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and put some sprays on this. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a chocolate spray on that. We're gonna do a windstruck spray, pollinated. We'll do a honey sprinkler, and then on my main account, I'm gonna go ahead and add a cloud touch spray to that. And there we go. We have our 5 mutations on here that we're going to use to convert this thing to a rainbow Coco Mango. I keep saying Coco Melon, dude. That shows. Yeah, I just have the intro. Coco Melon in my head. All right, anyways, let's go ahead and spawn in our queen bee to get the cooldown started with this guy. And we're going to spawn in our butterfly, and then the queen bee will cool down the butterfly, convert all this to rainbow, and then we can get the show on the road and get a really nice Coco Mango and make some good cash, huh? Wait, is this one bigger? Hold on. No, it's not. Okay. All right, well, our Coco Mango is ready for rainbow conversion, so we're gonna let that happen. And I believe, I mean, we already have a lot of glimmering plants over here, so Spinos will move that over. That's not gonna be a problem right now. And we sugar apple, we have a warp sugar apple, so like all that's good as well. And then I think we might have a chakra one somewhere in there. If not, my main account will probably be moving that over here in a second. My main account will be having its Kitsune come over here in a second and apply chakra either to our Coco Mango or one of our sugar apples, so that shouldn't be a problem. All right, and real quick before we do AFK and wait for this thing to become rainbow, I'm gonna go ahead and favorite it just real quick, and I am going to spawn in my mandrakes here. We're going to get an advanced sprinkler, and I'm just going to watering can some mandrake seeds here to get some mandrakes and hopefully get us the rot mutation on one of our sugar apples, so we can add that over to our Coco Mango once it's ready for that. Oh, okay, we had rot spread to one of our other mandrakes, which is interesting, but that works. We're gonna go ahead and add this over here to our little platter of food for our Spinos, and there we go. We have the rot mutation ready to go. All right, so I can go ahead and pick up these mandrakes now. We can unfavorite our Coco Mango, and now we can get ready to get rainbow and then get all the mutations applied. And I think while we're AFK, our Kitsune is going to apply chakra to something, so we'll check on that once we get back. All right, real quick, our Kitsune from my main account did just steal a sugar apple, so we do have chakra applied over there, and he's gonna go hand that off to my main account now. So thanks for stealing that and breaking my heart, but we do have chakra, so we can get that moved over in a little bit with our Spinos. All right, so I just boosted my queen bee and it cooled down our butterfly, and our butterfly is now going to convert this to rainbow. All right, there we go. Our Coco Mango is now rainbow, so I go ahead and favorite this so I don't accidentally pick it up. And we are good to start getting some mutations on this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some sprays. Let's go ahead and put pollinated back onto this, chocolate, wet, and I guess I'll save that glimmering since, you know, when the event ends, we'll need that more later. And then we can go ahead and put our honey sprinkler down on this to get honey glazed. Honey glazed will be back on that now, so we're up to 5 mutations. And then on my main account over here, I'm going to go ahead and apply the verdant spray. We're going to put cloud touch onto that, and we will put shocked onto that. And now we are up to 8 mutations, and since I have my main account here with some shock sprays, I am going to actually go ahead and plant a couple carrot seeds real quick, and then bring my main account over here with the shock spray to put it on one of my carrots. So that way we have the shocked carrot ready to go, and we can go ahead and spawn in my Raiju to eat that, and then it will apply the static mutation around to hopefully my Coco Mango, but if not, one of these sugar apples or one of these other carrots, and we can get static out of the way. And then we're also going to get some of our guaranteed mutations done. So we're going to spawn in our lemon lion so we can get brain rot in about 5 minutes. We'll spawn in our peach wasp so we can get plasma done in about 25 minutes. We'll spawn in a phoenix so we can get flaming done. We'll spawn in cockatrice so we can get toxic done. Or actually, we'll go ahead and spawn in our corrupt kitsune so we can get the corrupt chakra mutation done. And then we'll spawn in a pterodactyl so we can get tempestuous done. So that's a lot of pets that we have now that are pretty much our guaranteed mutations. Again, static, brain rot, plasma, flaming, toxic, corrupt chakra or foxfire corrupt chakra and tempestuous. So that is a lot of pets there, but that will give us some of our guaranteed ones done. I would have used the golden goose as well, but we already got fortune from selling that one egg. Also, perfect timing. We do have a nighttime event, so we can get moonlit on our cocoa mango or just one of our sugar apples or carrots, and we can easily get that moved over to this once we use our spinos in a little bit. I guess I'll go ahead because I ran out of the luminous sprays. I have to go buy more or earn more over there. But since I don't have that right now, I'll also go ahead and spawn in this luminous sprite so we can get that guaranteed mutation done, since the portal will take a little bit of time to get through. And this will only take about 15 minutes, and that's another guaranteed mutation, I believe. Yeah, it's guaranteed. So that will fulfill all of our guaranteed mutations. We already have a ton of glimmering stuff, so we don't really need to use our glimmering sprite right now. But we do need to use the luminous sprite since we don't have any sprays currently for that. But we have a pretty good setup here, so I'm going to be right back while these guys do their cooldowns, and we'll come back in just a minute and we'll get some more mutations done and get our cocoa mango to be big boy. Okay, this is interesting. We got a heat wave during nighttime. I don't know if I've ever really seen this combo before, but with that, I don't know if I have any more tanning mirrors, so it's actually good that I'm here. So I can go ahead and make sure I get tanning mirrors placed down right here so we can get the sun-dried mutation, and then that will also allow us to get paradisal in just a little bit. And with that, our giant bean lemon lion here is about to apply the brain rot mutation, so we go ahead and swap them out. And I forgot, I do need to do the jackalopes before I do the disco bee, since the jackalopes are pretty quick. We'll work on that, but let's go ahead and wait for this guy real quick to give us the brain rot mutation, and then we can probably boost our Raiju to shorten his cooldown. Let me see. Yeah, that'll shorten a couple minutes so we can get more jackalopes done. But all right, let's go ahead and get, there we go. We just got sun dried, so we'll get paradisal done. I think it should actually already be done since we have verdant on there. All right, sorry, my dogs are going crazy, but we got the brain rot mutation done on a sugar apple, so we're good. And we just got paradisal done on our cocoa mango, so that is good. And hey, why the dog barking? All right, but anyways, let's go ahead and pick up this lemon lion here, and we'll get flaming done in a second. So I guess with that lemon lion being out of the way, we can go ahead and put a jackalope down to start working on getting sandy mutation, and we'll go ahead and add some more jackalopes in once we get the phoenix done and the Raiju done, so we get that sandy mutation done and out of the way. This guy's gonna need another boost though. He's got a fast cooldown, but percent chance is kind of low, so I like to boost him to help us out a little bit. There we go. All right, Phoenix is applying flaming to different fruits, and he actually looks like he applied it directly to our cocoa mango. Yes, he did. All right, perfect. Thank you, my guy. Thank you so much. All right, Phoenix, your job is done. Actually, hold on a minute.
How do you apply flaming when it's literally raining? This game is very unrealistic. My immersion is ruined.
All right, I'm picking up the Phoenix. We're gonna go swap him out with another jackalope, and hopefully we get sandy done here. Raiju will give us static in just a second. Also, do we have shocked on this? Yes, we do. All right, perfect. Cool. All right, yeah, so he'll eat that shock carrot there. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this flaming one. We got a ton of stuff moonlit, and our cocoa mango directly is moonlit, so I'm gonna get rid of some of these moonlit carrots and just plant some new ones, just so we have an easier palette for our spinos. All right, Raiju ate the carrot, and he just applied static to a sugar apple and some carrots, so he is good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these static carrots since he got on a sugar apple over there. Again, just to make it easier for our spinos in a little bit, let's go ahead and pick him up. My poor little jackalopes are failing at life. Oh no. Let's go ahead and spawn another one in. We gotta get sandy done, guys. Come on, hurry up. Give us sandy. We need some sandy done and out of the way. All right, we got things to do. All right, we got Twisted and Windstruck, which means we got Tempestuous. We are done with our Pterodactyl here, so that is good. We can move them out of the way, and we have all of our jackalopes spawned in, so now we can start adding in some disco bees into the mix to give us the disco mutation, hopefully, and then we'll work on chicken zombies after that. Come on, guys, stop failing me. Get sandy on something, please. Sandy, 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 please, sandy. All right, we got sandy added to a carrot, and an earthquake is happening. I channeled an energy I did not mean to channel, I guess. Anyways, our cockatrice just applied toxic to a sugar apple over here, so that is another mutation done. We can go ahead and pick up the cockatrice here. He is done with his job, and then we'll get luminous done in just a second here. We'll go ahead and boost that sprite to save some time. Oh, look at that. We just got Foxfire Chakra finally, dude. We never get Foxfire Chakra, but we just got it on a carrot. All right, let's go and move that to the buffet platter as well. There we go. We got Foxfire Chakra. Oh, and we got a meteor shower. We got Celestial happening. happening. Hold on. I think I have a star crawler in there, but I'll put another one down just in case. There we go. Put one in that corner. I guess I'll put another one down over here for the carrots just in case, just so we can make sure we get celestial done. All right, cool. Yeah, all these are celestial now. Perfect. We're good. And go ahead and travel this over here. So we do have all of our disco bees here. We have 4 of them. So I'm going to go ahead and start placing down some chicken zombies as well into the mix. We can only do 1 right now, but once the sprite is done, we can go ahead and put down another chicken zombie. Well, our Coco Mango is celestial now. That's perfect, actually. So we really don't even need this carrot over here. I guess I can pick it up just to save some time for later. All right, luminous sprite, stop making weird noises and give us that luminous mutation so I can add in another chicken zombie here. And then I guess I could probably boost my corrupt kitsune in a second so we can get corrupt chakra done and out of the way. All right, he's going to apply luminous to something. It looks like he's targeting a carrot. He is targeting a carrot. He's spinning around the carrot, and we got luminous added to the carrot. Thank you so much for that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and travel this over here to our platter. That actually looks cool. Sorry, I have problems. Anyways, that is done. Let's go ahead and pick up this luminous sprite, get him out of the way, and replace him with another chicken zombie so we get zombified done, hopefully. And then we're gonna wait just a second here to get corrupt chakra done. All right, so our corrupt kitsune is going to give us corrupt chakra. Hopefully we'll get corrupt foxfire chakra so we can get ascended chakra and get that really nice multiplier. But if not, I'm gonna go ahead and, well, let's just see what he does real quick. All right, so we just got corrupt chakra. All right, so we at least have corrupt chakra done, which is nice. But I'm gonna go ahead and pick him up for now so we can focus on getting the other, I guess, guaranteed mutations done. And we can spawn in another chicken zombie here to get zombified done. So I did boost all my disco bees here, so hopefully we can get disco done. This Jax one is about to try and apply it, so hopefully that'll be, please, disco. Failed. Okay, usually they fail a couple times. All right, that's fine. I just kicked my chair and that hurt really bad. Ow. All right, Peach Wasp is stinging that disco bee. Let's see if we get disco from that one. Failed. Okay, well, that doesn't help me there. All right, well, we still have 2 more disco bees with their cooldowns almost done. So let's just see if we get it done before we get plasma done with our Peach Wasp. That'd be nice. All right, come on disco bees, please give us disco so we can just get the chicken zombies done, and then we can get this AFK grind on the way, guys. Come on, please, look at me, I'm so sad. All right, let's see it. Disco. Failed. All right, we got 1 more disco bee, and then we gotta wait for the cooldowns again. Come on, Bella, please. Bella, please. Bella, please. Bella, please. Bella, please. Bella, I don't like you. I really don't like you. You are our last hope, and now I have no hope. My heart's ruined. But at least Peach Wasp is going to give us plasma. There we go. We got plasma added to a carrot. So thanks for that, Peach Wasp. I'm going to go ahead and move this plasma carrot to our platter. And we're good. I'm going to pick up the rest of these carrots since they're kind of done with that right now. And let's go ahead and pick up the Peach Wasp and throw in 1 more chicken zombie into the mix. And now we have 4 and 4. So hopefully we can get disco done, zombified done, and then we can stop crying and we can go AFK with our nice AFK setup. All right, so we finally got the disco mutation applied to a carrot down here, I think. Yeah, right there in the sandy carrot. So disco is officially done. We can go ahead and pick up these disco bees, and now it's on to just trying to get zombified. We have 1 of our chicken zombies about to be done with its cooldown. I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my last chicken zombie here and a mimic octopus just to try and help speed this up in case this one fails. Let's see if Bella comes in clutch. Otherwise, we have a ton of other chicken zombies now that we can use. Let's see. Failed. Okay, well, at least we have 5 chicken zombies spawned in now and a mimic octopus, so we have 6 pets to try and get us zombified. Hopefully we'll be able to get zombified done very soon, but I guess because we do have all these guys working on giving us zombified, we can go ahead and spawn in a couple of our AFK pets, like the gnome here and the Spriggan, since these are our 2 highest chance ones. And if these guys give us their mutations, then we'll be able to spawn in 2 lobsters whenever we do the AFK grind. All right, so we just had 1 of our chicken zombies actually apply the zombified mutation to a sugar apple over here. Oh, there it is down there. All right, so zombified is officially done, and that is ready to go. So we can go ahead and pick up all of our chicken zombies here and our mimic octopus. And so we have the gnome and the Spriggan spawned in. So let's go ahead and get the rest of our AFK pets ready to go and get all the rest of our mutations done, and then we can focus on getting these Spinos to move these guys their mutations over. So we're gonna go ahead and spawn in a lobster. We're gonna spawn in our aromatic spaghetti slot to get aromatic pasta sauce and meatballs, so that will mix into the spaghetti mutation. We're gonna go ahead and spawn in our junk bot for the oil mutation, our tranquil scarlet for the tranquil mutation. We'll spawn in our corrupt scarlet for the corrupt mutation, and let's see, we're missing 1 other pet here? Ah, the griffin. All right, I figured there was one. So the griffin will give us cyclonic, and then that will turn into maelstrom, and then eventually we can get storm charged with that. So that'll be some extra mutations, lots of extra multipliers, and we can make some good money. So we have our nice AFK setup ready here. We got to get all these mutations done. Once we get one of these done, I'm going to swap out with the kappa. The second one, I'll swap out with another kappa. And then I think the third one, I'll swap out with the corrupt kitsune again, so we could try to get foxfire corrupt chakra. And then I will swap out the rest with some spinos and our ascended mooncat, just in case we can try to get dawnbound. I forgot to actually spawn in my mooncat after last video to try and get dawnbound on something, so we can use a T-Rex to multiply it. But I'm going to try to do that today after this video if we don't get it by the time I'm done recording. All right, but anyways, I'll be right back. I think we're good to go, and it's time to AFK and get these mutations done. All right, so after our first round of AFKing, I came back, and it looks like we do have corrupt done, which is awesome. So I can go ahead and pick up our corrupted Scarlet here. His job has been completed. And then looking through some of these other fruits that we do have a carrot with gnomed on it. So our gnome is also done. We can go ahead and pick him up as well and get him out of the way, as that's another one done. And I looked through all this. I didn't really see anything else that was completed. We did get sauce done, but we still need meatball, pasta, and aromatic. And we did get sauce done a couple of times. So our spaghetti sauce just really likes sauce today, apparently. And yeah, I didn't really see anything else on the sugar apples. It's kind of hard to tell because there's so many of them stacked together, but I don't see anything else that got done. However, I did come back from being AFK, and right when I did come back, I did notice on our Coco mango here, we did get molten as soon as I got back from AFK, which just converted over to blazing. So once we get meteoric, that can become infernal, which will be even a better multiplier buff. But anyways, since we did get 2 of our pets done, and our Spriggan, actually, let's see if our Spriggan will give us bloom real quick. I'm going to boost him. If we get bloom done, that'd be nice. Let's see. Oh, look at that. We got 1 fruit done with bloom. That is perfect. I don't know what got done with bloom, but something got done with bloom. I think one of our sugar apples. So there it is. So bloom is also done. Now we can go ahead and pick up our Spriggan. But we do have 3 slots open. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in some kappas here. And I'm also going to go ahead and put down some carrot seeds over here for our kappas. Help with getting the bloodlet mutation done. So there we go. There's 12 carrots for them to work with. And since they're spawned in, I'm going to go ahead and also spawn back in my corrupt kitsune to try and get foxfire corrupt chakra while we AFK a little bit longer. And then once some more of these guys finish up with their mutations, we're going to swap out and start putting some spinos in here. But so far, some pretty good progress. So we actually have bloodlet done, which means we can go ahead and get rid of these 2 kappas that we have. We also did get oil done from our junk bot, so we can go ahead and also pick up our junk bot since he is done. And we did get tranquil from our other scarlet, so we can go ahead and pick up our scarlet here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in another lobster just so we can try and help that one get meteoric done a little bit faster. I will boost this one though real quick to see if we can get that finished. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Lobster just applied meteoric to one of our mandrakes, so that's actually perfect. We can go ahead and pick up our lobsters now. So those guys are done. And let's see if our spaghetti sauce gives us meatball finally. Okay, another sauce, but that's fine. He has time. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and also boost my griffin here to see if we can get cyclonic done a little bit faster. And doesn't look like we got cyclonic still. Let me check this. Yeah, so no cyclonic, but that's fine. We'll let him keep doing his thing. But all right, we did make some pretty good progress here though. So that means we can go ahead and officially spawn in our ascended mooncat to try and get dawnbound done, depending on how long it takes for our spinos to move everything over. So I'll go ahead and get that started. I'm gonna pick up some of these carrots that we don't need. I'm gonna go ahead and move the good ones over though that we do need. So this one with oil, I'm gonna go put that over here. I'll move the tranquil one over there, and I'll move this bloodlet one over here, and we can go ahead and pick up all these other ones since we don't really need any of these other mutations. We have all those, and I think we're good. So now that we have that ascended mooncat spawned in, we can go ahead and get all of our spinos spawned in as well. So let's go ahead and get these spinos spawned in. We have 2 megas, 2 normal ones, and that will get a ton of mutations moved over, and we can get them all put on to our big Coco mango here and get a maxed out Coco mango with all the mutations on it. So we made some pretty good progress so far. This one's actually going a lot lot faster. Our pets are helping us out, giving us all the mutations that we need, which is perfect. So now we're just going to go ahead and AFK, wait for these Spinos to move everything over. And in the meantime, while they are moving stuff over, we just got to wait for that, hopefully, Foxfire Corrupt Chakra to get added to something cyclonic. And then we still need Meatball and Aromatic, but we're almost there. So lots of great progress so far. All right, so after about 4 hours of AFKing, we did get everything moved over to our Coco Mango here. The only thing is, for some reason, we haven't been able to get Aromatic, and we also have not been able to get Foxfire Corrupt Chakra. I don't know why those two are struggling. Usually we get Aromatic pretty early on, but it has literally not gotten added to anything at all. So I don't know why. But besides that, we do have about 32 mutations on our Coco Mango, and if we separate Spaghetti here, we'd be up to 34. If we separated Harmonized Chakra, 35, Gloom, 36, Paradisal, 37, Storm Charge would be about 41, and I think we'd be up to probably about like 44. So if we did get Ceramic, and we got this converted to Ceramic. I don't know why I didn't convert. I think it's because we got Infernal done too early before it was able to convert Sandy to Clay and then Ceramic. We also got Frozen, I think, before the Sandy was able to get Clay. So that kind of messed it up, and we also did not get Aromatic added onto it. And we also did not get our Dawnbound done. It's been hours, and this guy is still trying here. But we have about 2 hours left, so I'm probably just going to AFK after I finish this video and let our Mooncat apply this to a carrot or something like that, just so we have a Dawnbound item for the next video. But anyways, I think this is a pretty good stopping point. I wanted to get Aromatic and I wanted to get Ascended Chakra done, but I don't know why I'm not having any luck getting either of those right now. So I'm going to go ahead and just call it here, and we're going to at least try to get Amber done still. The other thing is, we did get some other events happening. Like, we did get the Earthquake event, and we did not get Cracked, and we did get some other events as well while I was AFKing, and we didn't get really any of the event mutations like Cracked, Aurora, Acid, or Acidic, I guess. And yeah, I don't know why, but anyways, we are going to go ahead and spawn in 7 raptors. I would do all 8, but I'm going to let that Mooncat finish up its job there, and I'm going to go ahead and boost these guys with my toys here. All right, everyone is now boosted, and we are good to pick up the Coco Melon or the Coco Mango. Sorry, I keep saying Coco Melon, bro. I don't know why. All right, but let's see if we can get Amber applied to this now.
Nope.
Okay, we did not get Amber applied to this, but we... What the heck was that, bro? What was that sound? That kind of just scared me, but wait, is it this? It is this, bro. The Coco Mango's making weird sounds. Okay, that's terrifying. But anyways, here's our Coco Mango with all these mutations on it in all of its glory. Now, I wish we got a little bit of a bigger Coco Mango here, but this is decent size. So I guess with this and all the mutations, I don't know what we can expect for the price, but hopefully we get something good. So I'm going to go ahead and talk to Steven here. Without further ado, let's see how much this Coco Mango is worth. All right, we actually hit perfectly on the 1 trillion mark, which is crazy. So if we did get Aromatic added and we did get Ascended Chakra, we would have been past 1 trillion, which would have been insane. So the Coco Mango is actually very, very good. I'm actually really happy with that amount. I honestly didn't expect to have that much of a value, but it did pretty good, and it makes this sound. All right, so I guess first things first is we are going to go ahead and spawn in some Triceratopses here to smack this thing and to grow it pretty good, and then we'll do our sprinklers because people are saying, Bandites, do the sprinklers after the plant's actually grown. That way you can get all the cool stuff on it. So, and it seems to work, so I'm going to go ahead and believe you guys and do that. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and spawn in my golden goose here just so we can get a golden egg prepared so we can get that fortune mutation ready in just a little bit. And let's go ahead and start watering this cyclamen. I have 400 watering cans, so this should definitely help. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in 2 advanced sprinklers just to make this grow a little bit faster, since that helps with growth speed. And then we're going to slowly watering can it because you guys were like, Bandites, don't spam the watering cans. You guys have actually been very helpful, okay? I love you guys. Thank you for your help. You have told me a lot about this game, and I mean, there's just so much to remember. I know you guys are like, get this mutation, do this, do this. There's so many different strategies and so many different things. I am one person with one tiny little old man brain. I'll be 25 this year. My brain is slowing down already. I'm probably gonna die. There's so much grow a garden content in my head that I don't know what to do, man. There's just so much to think about. Let's go ahead and get these Mooncat out here. There we go. That's 7 Mooncats, and then we're going to go ahead and put our sprinklers down now. So we're going to do a Grand Master on it. We're going to do a Master, a Godly. We're going to do another Advanced and a Basic, and that should give us some big cyclamens, okay? And now we just got to wait for our Mooncats to sleep all around our cyclamen, and then we will have our Triceratops hit it, and then we should be in business with a big cyclamen that will actually be towering and beautiful and gorgeous, and it'll look like me. Beautiful, gorgeous, towering. All right, we got some of these Mooncats on it. That's good. Can I travel this over here? Yeah, that's 3 Mooncat's on it right there. That's pretty good. There we go. Mooncat wave is done. Let's go ahead and pick up one of these guys that didn't even help, like you. I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in a queen bee here because we're gonna get the queen bee started since she does have a pretty long cooldown of like 16, 17, 18 minutes there. Yeah, because there's so many pets now. Like the whole thing of these videos for me now is just to save as much time as I can with getting all the mutations, because it used to be I only sat here for an hour. Now I sit here for like 4 hours trying to get all these mutations done. This game has so much in it now that it's just like my head hurts, and it takes me a long time to record these. So I try to save a little bit of time just so I save a little bit of sanity. Oh okay, these are pretty big. Yeah, are these fully grown? I don't think they are. I still can't pick them up, but these are definitely a lot bigger than the last ones. Okay, well, I think we're good there then. Let's go ahead and I guess pick up all these guys. All right, and then we'll go ahead and spawn in our golden goose again to start on that that fortune egg that we need. Where's my goose? Where's my little goose guy? There he is. All right, that should be good. And then I'm gonna use my main account to finish growing this, so I'm just gonna skip the rest of the growth time since these I'm just trying to save a little bit more time. Okay, all right, now they should be fully grown in. There we go. I'm gonna pick up these other ones. There we go. Now we only have one cyclamen here. I thought this was two, but it's one just giant one. All right, so we're good there. We're good. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and travel this and just spin it around this way so our kitsune over there, my main account, has less trouble. Let's go ahead and get that butterfly spawned in because my queen bee is already going, and we have about 14 minutes left, but that will save a little bit of time in the long haul for that butterfly. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some sprays on this. Let's go ahead and do a pollinated spray, shocked spray. Guess I'll do chocolate. I'll save that fried, and then on my main account I'll add some as well. I'll go ahead and add a cloud touch and windstruck since I have extras of those. All right, that should be good. That should be 5 mutations on it. Yep, there we go. We have 5 mutations on our cyclamen. It is good to go. And then over here on my main account, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in my kitsune. Let's go ahead and do that. There we go. Kitsune is spawned in, and then we'll spawn in a queen bee to save that kitsune a little bit of time, and that way we can get the chakra mutation applied to this cyclamen as soon. Sorry, I keep saying cyclamen. To the cyclamen as soon as it's rainbow. Now we just got to wait for all these cooldowns, and yeah. So I'm gonna go wait for these things to happen, and I'll be back in just a minute. All right, so we have some magic about to happen. The queen bee is going to cool down our butterfly. The butterfly is going to take our mutations on our cyclamen here and convert it to rainbow, and then our golden goose is going to lay an egg, and we'll have a fortune egg ready so we can get that moved over to our cyclamen in a little bit. Here we go. Queen bee is doing her thing. Butterfly is doing its thing, and there we go. Our cyclamen is now a rainbow cyclamen, so we can go ahead and favorite this so we don't touch that, and we can pick up our butterfly, we can pick up our queen bee, and then our golden goose is going to go ahead and lay an egg here for us. There we go. We now have a fortune egg, so we can go ahead and pick up our golden goose as well, and then we're going to trowel this over here just so it'll give us a better chance of our kitsune over here focusing on this cyclamen only. All right, so let's go ahead and reapply some sprays here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put chocolate back onto it. I'm gonna put shocked onto it, pollinated. I guess we'll do fried, even though it may or may not really matter if we do fried if we get ceramic, but I'm gonna add that anyways just in case. And then on my main account over here, I'm going to apply burnt, verdant, and cloud touched. So there we go. I don't have any bloom sprays, but this brings us up to 8 mutations. We're missing like 2 of them that we normally apply. Oh, honey glazed. I was like, what am I missing? All right, so let me go ahead and use a honey sprinkler. But yeah, we ran out of bloom sprays. I'll have to get some more of those before the event ends. But we have about like another week to grind those, so I'll do that. So those are all those done. We will now get chakra in just a second. And now it's time to focus on some of our pets. So I guess since we didn't get bloom, and we usually have that done, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in a Spriggan here. Now this guy does take 22 minutes, but he does have a 15% chance to go to bloom mutation as long as he's near this. So we'll boost him whenever it gets closer. And since he takes a long time, we are going to get him in there. And we are going to get our lobsters in here since they take a while, and we need to try to get molten and meteoric done. So I guess I'll spawn in the jackalope since they're pretty quick, and I'll spawn in 3 of these guys just so we can get them done and out of the way, and then I'll get 2 disco bees started here. All right, I'm going to boost these jackalopes just to help with their cooldowns being a little bit faster so we can get this done quicker, and then that way they're also boosted for a better chance. Jackalope, Sandy. Okay, first one failed. Sandy failed. What about you? Failed. Okay. Wow, they all failed in their first round. Come on. We got to get you guys done and out of the way. We got more pets. Come on. All right. Here comes our kitsune. He is targeting, hopefully, the cyclamen. No, he's straight lining the fortune egg. I wish he would go for the cyclamen, like the one that we wanted on, but we'll just have to have our Spinos do a little bit more later. That's fine. At least we have chakra somewhere, so our golden egg now has chakra. Now, can we get Sandy? Can you guys get Sandy, but not on the egg? I mean, if you do, at least it's done, but I'd rather it be on the actual plant that we want it on. Give us the Sandy mutation, please. Failed? What about you guys? Come on. Hurry up. We don't have time for you guys to fail. That's another fail. That's another... Bro, why are you guys failing so much? Isn't this thing beautiful? Don't you want to get your sand all over it? All right, we just missed it, but we did get sandy on our golden egg, which works. We'll use the Spinosaurus to move all these mutations over. Bro, why? We're not doing the golden egg again. We already did that. Why are you guys all applying to this? Anyways, that's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up our jackalopes now, get them out of the way. Our disco bees are almost done with their cooldown, so hopefully we get disco done and out of the way and actually on the cyclamen directly, so the Spinos have less work to do. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and spawn in our giant bean lemon lion now. Now, I did give him the giant bean mutation because he looks cool with it, but also I thought there was a giant bean mutation, but I guess that hasn't been added in yet. It was on the wiki, but I guess people had it wrong. Yeah, we only have this guy who's really hungry now, but every 5 minutes, he roars and applies the brain rot mutation, so that's a pretty quick cooldown, so we can get him done and out of the way. We're gonna also spawn in a peach wasp. The peach wasp actually can give us the new plasma mutation. Well, not new, it's been in the game, but it can give us the plasma mutation and also advance other pets' cooldowns. This one also might be a guaranteed pet because it says flies to nearby fruit and plasmifies it, but it doesn't say there's a % chance for it to happen. So we should be able to get plasma done, and then we're also going to spawn in our mandrake. Now, I don't know, is this guy guaranteed? No, he has a 3% chance, literally the tiniest % chance ever to apply the rot mutation. And his cooldown, how long is his cooldown? He doesn't even have a cooldown, it looks like. He just has a 3% chance to do it. Oh. Harvesting mandrake crops have a 4% chance to apply rot mutation to a random fruit. Okay, so I don't even need to use this guy yet. Also, we just got disco done, but again, on the golden egg. These guys really love their golden egg. But anyways, yeah, the mandrake, we can't use them yet. We have to wait until later. This guy, we might not even be able to use for a long time in our videos, depending on how many mandrake plants we actually get. But anyways, yeah, we'll have to get some more seeds, I guess, of the mandrakes. I had some on my main account, but yeah, okay, so this guy might be useless. I don't know. But we're gonna pick him up for now then. And the disco bees are done, so let's get them out of the way. And wow, there's so many things on this golden egg that the Spinosaurus will have to move over, but I guess that's fine. Let's go ahead and see if we add anything else to the golden egg. I'm gonna go ahead and boost these guys and see if we get molten done. I think we probably want to start with the spaghetti slot so we can get aromatic done and his 3 mutations to get the spaghetti mutation completely done. And we're gonna work on the pterodactyl. Let's do this H16 one, and then we'll work on the corrupt kitsune so we can get corrupt chakra and tempestuous done. And we're gonna place some carrots shortly for these guys to get their mutations on. Hey, brain rot guy, come here, give me brain rot. Okay, he gave us brain rot on the golden egg, of course. He was pretty close to it, but I guess that's fine. You know, we'll have our Spinos do some more work, man. That's fine. Make it hard on them. I guess we'll get the junk bot going because he's kind of like an odd man out. We only have one of them, and he takes forever to get oil. So let's go ahead and just get him in there. All right, our Spriggan is about ready, so I'm going to attempt to move this thing next to him, and hopefully we get bloom done. I really miss having the bloom sprays, dude. The more sprays we have, the less time-consuming this is because there's so many pets to go through, and they all take forever with their own cooldown. So yeah, I wish we still had more bloom sprays. I will grind some more out though before the event ends, so we might have to use the Spriggan again for a while. I mean, nothing against you, man. You look like Groot and everything, but like, I don't know, I just like to save some time. Give me that bloom mutation, my man. Come on.
Nope.
Yeah, we didn't get it. Okay, well, that was cool. That looked cool. That's not the bloom mutation, so continue on then. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and give some toys to my lobsters here to see if they'll help us out with anything. Okay, failed, 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 and failed. So they didn't help us with anything. So now I'm just gonna go cry myself to sleep. Spaghetti sloth, he just loves his carrots, dude. I don't know why. Like, there's a golden egg here with all these mutations, and then there's this cyclamen that needs to be mutated, but this dude's like, oh, you got carrots in your garden? I love carrots. He'd just be running over here to give us carrot mutations. Every time, dude, without fail, I could have a bone blossom, and this dude would be like, oh, no, that carrot looks yummy. Anyways, at least he gave us meatball, so that'll be another mutation to move over. We got to get pasta and sauce done, and then we also got to get his aromatic pet mutation shard to get moved on to something. Hopefully anything, because that one usually takes a while. So, pterodactyl, corrupt kitsune, and junkbot are almost done. I assume the junkbot will fail me and make me very, very sad like he always does. But junkbot, listen here, buddy. I always be making you deals nowadays, and this time, if you give me the oil mutation, I will do an oil change for you. I will get you some new clean oil. You know, you could be a really good junkbot. You know what I'm saying? All right, never mind. I hate you too. I don't know why my pets just don't ever like me, dude. It makes me really sad. Like, you see the tears coming out of my face? Look at that. Corrupt kitsune, hey, buddy, give me corrupt chakra. Don't fail. Don't fail like 20 times like everybody else. Just do it on your first go. Maybe even just do it directly to the cyclamen, because our Spinos have so much work already. I think they would appreciate it if you could just do it to that. Okay, you're not. Okay, well, we got it on some carrots. That's good. Wait, you did get it on the cyclamen. Bro, I love you. Come here. I just picked up the meatball carrot, bro. I picked up the meatball carrot. What am I doing? All right, well, that's fine. You know, honestly, I don't even care. I need this guy to just do it on our cyclamen anyways. He's gonna probably apply meatball like 20 times over. That's what he does. Anyways, pterodactyl, come here, buddy. I need you to give us tempestuous. Why is there silver? I don't want silver right now. Tempestuous, please. And if you want, do it directly on the cyclamen like the corrupt kid Zune did. Make me very happy. Or not. But we got it on 2 carrots, so that works. Thanks, buddy. What's next? Peach Wasp is about to sting one of my other pets, which will speed stuff up. I'm gonna give him a toy though, because he's almost ready with plasma. He's just kind of gliding around. I don't know what he's doing, bro. Oh wait, that made both of his things ready. All right, plasma. Oh, let's go. He got plasma directly on the cyclamen. That actually helps us a lot. So, I'm going to go ahead and pick up this Peach Wasp. Maybe I'll spawn in 2 of my Spinos because they got to make a dent in this golden egg. It's going to take a while, so I might as well let them get started and start moving these mutations over. Oh, actually, let's do the gnome. He's kind of like an odd man out. He's by himself, and he literally has a 1% chance to mutate a random fruit with gnome. This guy, I have better luck going outside and finding $1 million than this guy giving me gnome. But he looks like Cletus, so I'll give him some love. All right, our lobsters are about to attempt to apply meteoric again. I believe this is meteoric. All right, come on. Let's do it. Okay, that was molten actually, but we did get molten. All right, cool. So we do have molten on this cyclamen here, so I'll let that grow for a second. And our spaghetti sloth is going back for the carrots, dude. This guy loves his carrots. All right, we got pasta. Oh, hey. It's time for a heat wave, actually. Hey, that's nice. Now we can get Paradisal done, and that actually will probably, once we get this stuff moved over, that'll give us ceramic done pretty much instantly, because I'll move wet over and stuff. But yeah, I'm excited for these Spinos to move these mutations over. We have a lot of them. Oh, we got oil done too. Yo, Junkbot. Hey, good job, man. We still have to go through the Tranquil Scarlet and the Corrupt Scarlet, so I might as well get... Usually the Corrupt one seems to get done faster. I don't know why. Maybe it's a slightly higher chance. I'll do Corrupt. All right, well, since the gnome is a 1% chance, I think I'm just going to AFK him later on in the video. I actually decided I'm going to replace the gnome for now with the Griffin. I forgot we need to get this guy done because he can give us the Cyclonic mutation. He has a 10% chance, which is better than the gnome's 1% chance, obviously. So we're going to try to get this guy done and out of the way. I'm also going to give him a treat to boost his leveling a little bit. And yeah, he's only level 2, so he's a low guy. All right, so our Spinos are going to eat up now and eat some mutation. So it looks like they might have just ate oil. And then this one, they're eating tempestuous. And they ate wet, and then they're gonna eat one from this one. So we got molten, wet, tempestuous, and disco moved over to our cyclamen. Now this guy's going. That should be oil on that one. And then he's gonna eat pasta, so now we can get rid of these carrots. And then he's gonna eat one from that. So now we have oil, pasta, brain rot added over to our cyclamen. And then we just need to get fortune, sandy, and chakra moved over. But that actually makes it look like we made some progress now, because now we have 2 rows of mutations. All right, lobster, meteoric, failed. Other lobster, meteoric, failed. And then we got molten again on one of the cyclamen. So that's great, but I didn't want that. I did want meteoric. All right, so we had wet and windstruck reapplied, but the main thing we needed there was chakra. So now all we need to get moved over is fortune from that golden egg. And just a second ago, my other Spinosaurus, when I was AFK, actually did move sandy over. And it looks like, did we get ceramic? There it is. There's ceramic. All right, so that took away our burnt and fried, but we do have ceramic, which is a better mutation anyways. So there we go. And it looks like our spaghetti sloth also applied sauce to something. So we just have to get sauce and meatballs moved over now. And we still have to get aromatic from him. All right, so I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is prepare for the ultimate AFK setup so I can try to get all of the mutations that I need while I'm AFK from some of these pests that take forever. So we're going to try to get meteoric out of the way from these lobsters since they're almost done again with their cooldowns. We're going to boost them. Hopefully we get that done. Let's go ahead and take a look. I know we're done with most of our pets, but we still have a few. So I'm going to let our lobsters here attempt to give us meteoric real quick. So let's go ahead and boost them with some toys. Okay, they both failed, so that doesn't help. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick these guys up just for now, and I'm gonna spawn them back in just a second. And same with the Spinosauruses. I'm gonna get some of these other pets done and out of the way. So I'm gonna boost the Spriggan actually, and see if we'll get Bloom done. Oh, there we go. We actually got Bloom on 2 things, on the egg and on this. So Spriggan actually just came in clutch for us. We're going to leave the spaghetti sloth here. And then let's get some other pets done, and then we'll set up for the ultimate AFK setup. So I can just go AFK and wait for everything to kind of happen. So we're going to go ahead and spawn in a bunch of chicken zombies. We're going to also spawn in our Raiju. And I'm going to go ahead and place a carrot seed down for the Raiju. And then we're just going to leave our spaghetti sloth here to do its thing. I'm going to try to get aromatic done. And we do have sauce. So all we need is meatballs and aromatic. So let's see if we can get either of those real quick. Okay, aromatic still failed, so we're gonna have to keep him around for a little bit longer, but let's see if we get meatballs done. So I'm gonna go ahead and get zombified done and static. And once those are done, we will then go back and spawn in those pets that were taking forever, and we'll spawn in some spinos to move everything else over from the golden egg and from our other cyclamens. Sorry, from our other cyclamens. So we're gonna go ahead and wait for our Raiju here to eat carrot and apply static to cyclamen. All right, our Raiju is going to eat this shocked carrot and apply static, hopefully directly to this cyclamen, so it's easier for our spinos in just a little bit. But here he goes, eats, shooting, and we got our nighttime event to start. And yes, there we go. We have static on the cyclamen. However, it did apply to like every other cyclamen we have. So I'm going to try to pick up some of these just to make it easier for our spinos, the ones that just only have static on them. So that is another mutation done, and we are good to go with that. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up this Raiju here, and we're just going to wait for, well, there we go. We got Moonlit from the nighttime event. So that's Moonlit done. And we'll probably honestly get it directly applied to this. But if not, again, we have our spinos to help us with that. All right, Spaghetti Sloth just gave us meatball, which is perfect. We now have meatball on this one, we have sauce on this one, and then we need to use our Spinosauruses to move over this sauce, this Moonlit, and this meatball, and this bloom. Now they're gonna take a while because they eat like everything, but yeah. Oh, and we also just got another heat wave event, which is nice, so they're gonna have to move over that sun dried as well, even though we don't need it. In the meantime though, we're gonna go ahead, before we set up for our AFK grind, I'm gonna go ahead and give some boosts to my chicken zombies to hopefully give us zombified. Oh, and there we go. The first one literally just, two of them just gave us zombified. We got one on that one and one on that one. I'll see, I guess, if the other ones apply it directly to our main cyclamen. All right, so now that we got those guys out of the way, it is time... Excuse me. Ow, that went through my nose. All right. Anyways, it is time to set up for our AFK grind and get the rest of these pets that we need. So we're definitely going to spawn in our Tranquil Scarlet Macaw so we can get Tranquil done. We're going to spawn in our Corrupt Scarlet Macaw so we can try and get Corrupt done. We're going to go ahead and spawn in a Gnome so we can try to get that 1% mutation to get applied to something. This guy's pretty puny and useless, but hey, he's cool. And then we're gonna go ahead and try to get that Griffin to give us the Cyclonic mutation, so that way we get Cyclonic. And then we're gonna spawn in 2 of our Spinos again, because these guys have a lot of work to move mutations over to our main favorited cyclamen here. All right, and then what else do we need? I think we got, did we ever get, oh no, we never got Meteoric done, so we're gonna need to get those lobsters back in here for sure. Oh wait, we can only do 1 right now, hold on. As soon as we get Aromatic, we can get rid of this Spaghetti Sloth. Like, he's good. So do you want to give us Aromatic real quick so we can do that?
Nope.
Never mind. All right, we'll wait. I'll go ahead and add another lobster in a little bit. Actually, no, I'm going to go ahead and just get the lobster in, and then we can add another Spino in a little bit. That way we have better chance for Meteoric, since that one is a difficult one to get. And I think that's pretty much it. So these guys will be AFK. These guys, I have to harvest stuff, so I'll do that at the very end. So I'll be back, and I'll see you guys in a few hours, and we'll be back and hopefully have all of those mutations done. I'm going to write those down as well, so I remember what we need, because that's a lot. All right, so I have been AFKing on and off pretty much all day. I think the last time I actually sat down when I was recording was like 5 hours ago, and I've just been letting all the mutations add up, which we pretty much have gotten everything but the gnome mutation. Now, I didn't realize this when I read it earlier. I don't know why it passed my slow, puny brain, but I just realized that this says gains an additional 1% chance for every gnome cosmetic in your garden. So I think if you literally have like 100 gnomes, that guy will be a guaranteed gnome mutation. So whenever the gnome merchant was here earlier, I should have been buying gnomes. I didn't realize that, but I plan to stack up on as many gnomes as possible whenever the next merchant shows up, and I'm just going to place them on the edge of my garden so this guy can always give us that gnome mutation. But anyways, besides that though, with the 1% chance he has, within 5 hours we did not get that gnome mutation done. However, we did have a eclipse event, so we got that added on. We had Meteoric moved over from our Spinosauruses along with the spaghetti ingredients. We had Maelstrom, which is actually the cyclonic mutation from the new Griffin bird, mixed with Tempestuous is what people are saying it is. Everyone's still trying to figure it out, because Tempestuous was gone and cyclonic, we got it, but it never was like added directly onto the cyclamen plant. But I think it's because once the Griffin adds that, if you have Tempestuous, it mixes it into Maelstrom. And then we did get Aromatic finally added on and moved over. We got Windstruck, which is an extra mutation since we got the Maelstrom. And then we did get Brain Rot moved over. We got Corrupt and Tranquil finally done. We got Fortune moved over, and we got Plasma moved over and everything else, and Bloom. So this thing has a ton of mutations on it. It is looking good, but we're going to finish off by trying to get the new Rotten mutation, or the new Rot mutation from these Mandrakes, and hopefully harvesting some of these will help us enough to get the Mandrake or the rot mutation applied to this, or even one of these sugar apples, and we can use this Spinosaurus to move it over. So let me view this real quick. So that's a 4% chance. Let's go ahead and pick these up. See if we get Mandrake. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I guess plant a couple more Mandrake. So the thing about this mutation is this is kind of useless if you don't have Mandrake plants. So that's the only problem with this is like eventually we're gonna run out of these because they probably won't have Mandrake plants anymore unless they move it to the seed shop. So these pets will become useless. So I'm assuming they're gonna move these to the seed shop. If they don't, then these will literally be useless. But anyways, go ahead and try to pick up some more. Okay, still nothing. I don't know how many to plant. I only have 23 more, so we'll try a couple more here and see if we get it. And there we go. We got it on a sugar apple. That's perfect, actually. So that is done. We're next going to spawn in our apple guy here. Where is he at? Our apple gazelle. And this guy can possibly give us the warp mutation when we harvest sugar apples. So we're going to try it. We're going to try to harvest some here and see if we get that mutation. So I'm going to go and pick up these sugar apples without picking up that rot one. Okay, that didn't really do anything. Let's go ahead and bring my mannequin in here so we can grow this back and then try to get that mutation done. And in the meantime, since we're done with the mandrakes, I'm going to go ahead and pick these guys up. We're going to get our Spinos back in here to get this stuff moved over. All right, still nothing. We're going to try it at least one more time. And if we don't get anything, I'm at least going to AFK so this guy levels up and gets a better % chance to get this mutation in the future because this is a difficult one to get. All right, we did not get it. All right, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and say we're going to wait to try to get this one in the future. He's only age 3, but he has a lot of time. We can try and get him to level up. I guess I'll leave this guy here and let the apples grow one more time, just so whenever we get back, he might have a little bit of a higher chance. And then we're going to finish off by getting that rot mutation moved over. And then hopefully we can maybe get the apple gazelle's mutation moved over, that warp mutation. So we'll see. All right, so I actually was picking up some sugar apples here, and I ended up getting the warped mutation on this sugar apple. And we're still waiting for our Spinos to move that rot over, bro. I don't know what they're doing, but look at this warp mutation. That thing looks sick. All right, it took even longer for our Spinosaurus to move over the rot mutation and the warp mutation. I don't know why it took so long, dude. I have been literally recording this for nearly 10 hours. I mean, again, it's been off and on with the AFKing, but bro, this one took forever. This one literally took forever. So for now, I'm gonna go ahead and reclaim this sugar apple tree so we can make sure we have a clean palette for the next video. But we're gonna go ahead and check this out. So our cyclamen plant here has all of these mutations on it, dude. Like, there are so many mutations. So I want to point out that first off, Maelstrom is the new cyclonic mutation mixed with tempestuous. Also, I can't seem to find the color of the cyclonic mutation because I was AFK when this happened and it just instantly went to Maelstrom. So if you guys know what the color is, let me know because I gotta add that to the thumbnail. Okay, next up we have the warped mutation on here. Oh, look at that, it's a nighttime event. We also have gloom. Now the gloom mutation is when you get rot with the bloom mutation. Those combine and make gloom for a better multiplier chance. We have the brain rot mutation on here, and we also have plasma from the new pet. So like we have so many new mutations, a lot of them just mixed together, but let's count. We have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 5 26 27 28 29 mutations. But if we split up some of these like spaghetti, we'd be at about 31 mutations. Maelstrom would bring us at about, honestly, I think that's 2 more mutations because we got Windstruck back, so that would bring us to about like 33 mutations. Gloom, we'd be at about 34 mutations. Harmonized Chakra would bring us to about 35 mutations. So this cyclamen literally has the most mutations that we've ever gotten so far on one of these plants in a video. And if we got the gnomed mutation, I think we would have had a second row here, or at least 2 more mutations, like if we got gnomed and bloodlet, or like Aurora and acidic. Because we did get some of the events, just not the mutations from them. But if we did get some of those, oh, we also had a celestial event. If we got that, we definitely would have had 3 rows of mutations, which might have been never done before. Anyways, enough blabbering. We're gonna go ahead and pick this thing up and check the value with Steven. I wish we would have gotten that gnome mutation, but there's still a chance for amber, so let's see if we get amber. Nope. Okay, we did not get amber, so I guess there goes our chance for amber. But anyways, this thing is so big with so many mutations, it just looks like this now. It is broken, just like my heart. Anyways, let's go ahead and check the value of this. Oh, there we go. Look at all this. Look at all this, dude. It's crazy. Let's go ahead and check the value of this huge cyclamen plant with all of these mutations and see what the ultimate value of this is going to be. So Steven, what are we looking at today? This thing is worth 398 billion. Man, I thought this was going to be more. I don't know if I'm happy about that. I thought we'd be closer to 1 trillion, but I honestly think some of the multipliers have been nerfed a little bit, at least with the huge plants. I think some of the huge plants, they don't give you as much money because people were getting plants that were worth like quadrillions, which is insane. I mean, 400 billion, I can't complain. That is not bad at all. Just about 400 billion at least. But for me spending this much time, we have had other plants on this game that we've gotten a lot more money on. And this was a pretty big cyclamen with a lot of mutations. I think it should have been more, but again, the base value might have been lower than what I was thinking. I didn't actually even check the base value, but yeah, I've done a lot of work on this video, man. I am exhausted, but I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, drop a like on the video, comment down below if you think this is worth it with all these mutations, and also make sure to subscribe for bonus points. I'll see you guys in the next one. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna go ahead and place my firewall down right here, and then we're also going to go ahead and use some of our sugar apple seeds here. We do have sugar apples spawned over here, but we're gonna go ahead and actually plant some new ones since those have tons of mutations on them. And with that, we're gonna spawn in our apple gazelle pet, and we're also gonna spawn in our mandrakes. What we're going to go ahead and do now is hit the grow all button on my main account here so we can get those sugar apples to grow in, and also our firewall. All right, and there we go. So here is the new firewall. These are actually pretty tiny, so we are going to pick these up and we're going to actually grow them in a second. But first, we're going to attempt to get the warp mutation with our apple gazelle. He's already boosted, so let's go ahead and pick up some of these sugar apples here. Surprisingly, we did not get the warp mutation from that, so let's go ahead and grow all again and then try that again. Sometimes this happens, but we should be able to get it within the next grow all or 2 grow alls. Let's see. Bro, why are we actually not getting the warp mutation? Usually we get it pretty quickly. Do they nerf this guy? I don't know. Seems to be about the same % chance. All right, let's keep trying. All right, we're still not getting it, dude. I don't know what's going on here. Just making sure we didn't get it like on anything else. Like maybe it's bugging out or something, but I don't see it on anything. So I think we're just having an issue here. All right, well, I guess I'll keep trying. Just give me a minute here. We should be able to get it in a second. I don't know why it's taking so long. There we go. Finally, we got the warp mutation to spread to one of our plants here. So it's on one of our sugar apples that's already established. So, all right, it just took a couple of tries today. Usually we get a lot faster, but our luck today, I guess, is just not very good. So I'm going to go ahead and pick these up then, now that we're done with these sugar apples. All right, and let's go ahead and pick up our apple gazelle, and then let's go ahead and get our mandrake seeds ready here with an advanced sprinkler and some watering cans. We're going to go ahead and place a couple of these down and try to get the rot mutation done real quick. All right, there we go. We got the rot mutation to spread over here to one of our sugar apples. So that mutation is now done, and we can go ahead and pick up the rest of these mandrakes and get started with the actual plant here. All right, let me go ahead and sell all this stuff that's in my inventory, get rid of these real quick, and let's pick up our mandrakes and let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna go ahead and spawn in our mooncats here, at least 7 of them. People were saying they nerfed the mooncats, but actually the mooncats just had a bug and they fixed it in this update. So now our mooncats should actually work correctly. We're gonna spawn in a triceratops to help speed up the growth, and let's go ahead and pick up all these firewalls here, and let's go ahead and get our sprinklers down on this firewall plant. So we're gonna go ahead and use the Grandmaster sprinkler here, Master sprinkler, our Godly sprinkler, Advanced, and Basic. There we go. And I believe this is an autumn plant, so we don't have any fall sprinklers on this account. Let me go grab one on my main account real quick, and then we'll throw that in the mix. All right, there we go. We have a maple sprinkler added from our main account now, and now we should be able to get some pretty big firewalls here, and it's growing actually pretty quick. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this right here and see if our mooncats will help boost this. There's a couple of them here, so hopefully that'll help give us a little bit of a mooncat boost. But now that we have all of our sprinklers down and we have our mooncats, we should be able to get a pretty big firewall, and then we can start getting all the mutations added to this thing, and we'll also get all of these extra admin mutations moved over to it as well. So we're gonna have a really expensive firewall today. I'm gonna go ahead and favorite these just so when we attempt to get the rainbow mutation done, we don't have to worry about these converting to rainbow over here, although we have a lot of these things that are mutated like crazy. So I'm gonna have to favorite like everything over here. All right, I got some more mooncats sleeping. We have a couple of them up here. Let me move this over here because there's like 3 of them right there, and then hopefully we get a pretty big one to grow in. These 2 are decent, but they're not as big as we definitely could get it. Can I move this, please? All right, so we're gonna let that do its thing, and then I'm gonna go ahead and look through here, make sure we get everything favorited so we don't pick anything up. There are so many sugar apples in here that we're gonna have to favorite and make sure are safe. All right, sorry, I'm multitasking here, but I'm gonna keep moving this into the pile of mooncats to try and get a big firewall to grow in. This dude is hitting the sugar apples. That doesn't really help us out, but sure, thanks, man. All right, so I'm gonna wait for a big firewall to grow, and I'm gonna keep favoriting all these sugar apples because there's actually so many. Once we get a pretty big firewall to grow in, we'll come back, get rainbow on it, and then start getting all the mutations. There's just so many plants today. The admin event really is slowing me down because there's so many things I gotta favorite, and I'm gonna have to unfavorite all of them later. So just give me a minute. I'm gonna come back once we have a big firewall and all this is favorited to save some time. All right, so we are back, and we actually got blessed today because we got rainbow firewalls, and also these things grew way bigger than I thought they were going to. So yeah, this one that's actually the biggest one is surprisingly rainbow, so we don't have to go through the whole process of waiting for our butterfly to do its magic on it. So that's actually crazy that we got a rainbow on our first try, and I just spent all that time favoriting all of our fruits so the butterfly wouldn't eat it and eat all the mutations and move them over here. So we actually got really lucky, but now I have to sit here and unfavorite all of them. But I'll do that in a little bit when we're gonna get ready for our spinos. But anyways, yeah, so we have our big firewall here. It is already rainbow, which saves us some time, so we don't have to sit here and wait for the queen bee to cool down our butterfly and do all that stuff. So we're good with that. We can go ahead and actually start getting some mutations applied to this thing right away. So I'm gonna go ahead and look through my sprays here. I do need to get pollinated on this. We're gonna put that. We do have chocolate actually added over there, and windstruck is actually in the mix over here as well. We have tempestuous on plenty of fruits, so we can save those today. We are gonna go ahead and put a honey sprinkler down though and add this onto there so we can get the honey glaze mutation. There we go. And then on our main account here, we're going to add the glimmering spray, the cloud touch spray, and the luminous spray. And we also just had our main account's Kitsune apply the chakra mutation in one of the sugar apples over here, or the carrots. So that's an extra mutation done as well. But there we go. Now we have some extra mutations added to our firewall. It looks all beautiful and shiny. But we have 6 mutations on there from sprays, and we are good to go with that. We also don't need verdant, which I would normally spray that, but we already have the verdant mutation applied over here on one of our sugar apples, so we are fine, and we can save the verdant spray as well today. So yeah, a lot of our work was done from the admin events, which is actually crazy. So I am going to go ahead though and spawn in a carrot seed right here, and we're going to use our main account to spray the carrot with the shocked mutation spray. Okay, there we go. And now that we have a shocked carrot here, we can go ahead and spawn in our Raiju, and he is going to eat this carrot and then apply the static mutation around the area to maybe the sugar apples or our firewall, or maybe some more carrots, because I am going to place a couple more down here. So that way we can get the static mutation, and that will be used for storm charge or maelstrom later. Since he spawned in, we can go ahead and start getting all of our guaranteed mutation pets done and out of the way as well. So let's go ahead and spawn in our golden goose so we can get a fortune egg set. And let me just go through the mix here. We need our phoenix, so we can get the flaming mutation done. We don't need our pterodactyl because we already have tempestuous. And we don't need glimmering spray because we already have the glimmering spray applied, or the luminous spray. We don't need that as well because we have that spray. We're gonna spawn in the cockatrice though for the toxic mutation. We do need our corrupt kitsune for the corrupt chakra or foxfire corrupt chakra mutation today. I believe we actually need some jackalopes because we did not get the sandy mutation applied to anything from what I've seen. So we're gonna spawn in 2 jackalopes. We don't need our peach wasp today, so we can save that. We do need our lemon lion to get the brain rot mutation done, so we're spawning him in. And I'm just trying to go down the list because my brain's just not working today, dude. There's so many mutations that we already got, so my head is just like not there. So I'm trying to remember like what we need because everything's kind of mixed today. It's different from our normal arrangement of pets. So let's wait for these pets to get done, get these mutations, and then we'll swap out with some new ones. But I'm gonna make sure I get all my other guaranteed-ish pets done. All right, I think we're good. I think I have everything ready in my hotbar now that I need to for our guaranteed pets. So in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and boost these jackalopes. So that one's already boosted, but I'm gonna boost this one. We're gonna get the sandy mutation done. Once sandy's done, we're actually gonna spawn in our swan and our badger so we can get cracked and we can get graceful done. And then I'm gonna also need a couple more toys so I can boost some of these other guaranteed pets, get them done a little bit faster. So I'm gonna gift myself some more pets. I mean, some more toys. Bro, I literally can't think today. My brain is like completely fried. I'm sorry, dude. This is not my normal mutation video. All right, there's so much going on today. My head hurts. All right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and boost the Raiju as well to save some time there. And let's just see if we can get the jackalopes done, get sandy. Once we get sandy, we could swap out with 2 of these guys down here. Failed. What about the other one? Failed. All right, we're gonna wait a little bit here to get sandy. I'm gonna give myself some more toys, so we'll be back in just a minute and we'll see what mutation we get done next. So I'll be right back. All right, we are good. I got some toys and some of our pets are going to apply their mutation. So we're gonna have the lemon lion give us the brain rot mutation, and we can swap him out for our swan. And we're gonna also boost some of these other guys. So let's boost the phoenix to get him done and out of the way. Let's boost the cockatrice to get him out of the way. And we can also boost the golden goose, and that should save us a couple minutes for those those guys. And our jackalopes are still trying to apply sandy, so hopefully we can get that done pretty quickly. All right, but yeah, first pet to give us a guaranteed mutation today is the lemon lion. He has a pretty quick cooldown, so that saves us some time here. We can swap him out. All right, there we go. We have the brain rot mutation applied to a sugar apple, so he is done with his job. Pick him up, and we're gonna actually replace him with the swan, because the swan is the next guaranteed mutation. We get graceful every 5 minutes, so that will help us out there. And Phoenix is going next. We got the flaming mutation on a bunch of our sugar apples and I think some of our carrots, so Phoenix is done. We can get rid of him, and I'm gonna go ahead and replace the Phoenix with, I guess, the giant badger, so we can get the crack mutation done since he goes pretty quickly. I'm also gonna get some more carrot seeds ready, so when we spawn in our kappas, we can get bloodlet done a little bit faster. All right, so our Raiju will be next, and then our cockatrice, but our Raiju will eat this shock carrot and then apply static to a ton of stuff, probably just our other carrots since we have so many spawned in now. And then once he's done, I guess I'll replace him with the kappas, or maybe the grizzly bears next, so we get fall done. And then hopefully these jackalopes hurry up, bro, and give us sandy. We gotta get these guys out of the way, dude. But oh, our giant badger will be done as well with the Raiju, and then also our cockatrice. So we'll have some more spots. We can throw some grizzly bears in here, the kappas, and get those mutations done. But all right, Raiju, come eat the shock carrot, buddy. Don't eat. I hope I didn't forget to favorite something over there. He's gonna eat that. All right, good. I think we're good. He's targeting. Uh-oh. What did he just eat? Bro, you just ate one of my good carrots, I think. Or actually, no, I think he ate it from a apple that I didn't favorite, because these are all favorited. All right, well, that's fine. We got static done. I don't even know what he just ate, bro. There's so many mutations. My head hurts. All right, and we just got toxic done on some more carrots. I believe this one. Did this one just get toxic on it? One of these I thought just got toxic done. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But the jackalope did just apply sandy as well, and then our badger is going to apply the crack mutation to a bunch of stuff, which he just did to this one. So we are good. All right, so Raiju's done. Cockatrice is done. Jackalopes are done because we just got sandy, and badgers done with cracked. So we are good. We just got a bunch of mutations done and out of the way. I am gonna move. I don't know what carrots we got toxic on, so I'm just gonna throw this one over here. Yeah, and we just got 24 fruits with the cracked mutation, bro. We didn't even need that many, but thanks for your service, I guess. That works. I'm gonna pick up some of these carrots to get them out of the way. We actually did get cracked directly on our firewall, so we really don't need cracked on anything else. I might as well just pick up all these extra carrots that we have them on. There we go. Just move everything out of the way. There we go. So we're good with that. We got these guys done. I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my grizzly bears now because we need to get the fall mutation done. The grizzly bears are going in. Let's go ahead and spawn the kappas in as well so we can get bloodlet done. We'll spawn in 2 kappas here, get us bloodlet done pretty quick. And then we're also gonna go ahead and just get our gnome out of the way since we have quite a lot of gnomes here. He's got a pretty high % chance to get the gnome mutation done. And then after we get these guys done, we'll do our chicken zombies, and then we'll be ready for our AFK setup, which should be pretty easy today since we got a lot of the AFK mutations done already. We just need our Spinos to work in overtime today because there's so many mutations they got to move over, dude. Oh, wait, let me go ahead and boost the swan again. I didn't realize he was not boosted anymore, but that will give us the graceful mutation. And then our golden goose is also going to give us a fortune egg. Oh, thank you. You're placing it right next to our Spino platter. Thanks for your service. You'll enjoy your scrambled eggs. All right, I'm gonna pick up the golden goose now. Let's get the graceful mutation done from our swan. All right, we got to apply to a sugar apple, so one of these have graceful on them now. So the graceful is done. We can pick up our swan, and now we have 2 extra pet slots. So we're gonna go ahead and spawn in some chicken zombies to work on them to get the zombified mutation done and out of the way. And once we get pretty much all of these pets done, then we'll be ready for our AFK setup. So I'm gonna wait around. I'm gonna boost the grizzly bears here just to help them out, and then we're gonna wait around, see what mutations we get next, and work towards that AFK setup so we can just get everything applied to our firewall. All right, so our Krupp Kitsune is ready. Let's see if we get Foxfire Krupp Chakra. Okay, we got regular chakra on a bunch of stuff, including a sugar apple and some carrots, so we can go ahead and pick up these carrots since it's on a sugar apple over there with our other stuff. But yeah, there we go. All right, so Krupp Chakra is done. We can go ahead and pick up our Krupp Kitsune. I'm just gonna go ahead and replace them, I guess, with our Spriggans so we get Bloom done, and I'll save some time. And then once our grizzly bears are done, we'll replace these with some more chicken zombies so we can make sure we get zombified done and out of the way. I think we're good. So now we just gotta wait for our kappas to give us bloodlet, our grizzly bears to give us fall, and then our gnome just failed, but we'll wait to try and get gnomed. And once our Spriggan gives us bloom, which should be pretty easy, we can go ahead and get some more chicken zombies in here or just get ready for our AFK setup. Now, because we have so many of the mutations done today already, our AFK setup will probably be a lot smaller today, so we'll have to do the junk bot, of course, Krupp Scarlet, Tranquil Scarlet, Griff orphan, and then just the spaghetti slots. But we will have about 3 slots open for Spinosauruses. So whenever we get started on that, we can get 3 of our Spinos ready, and then they can just start moving everything over to our firewell already, which will be really helpful. And hopefully we can get the firewell with all the mutations done within a couple hours. But yeah, this thing is about to be actually crazy and maybe even maxed out. We might have almost all the mutations on it today, like actually. So this will be an interesting one. This thing better be worth a lot of money. You better make us proud, firewell. All right, so one of our grizzly bears finally just applied the fall mutation to one of our sugar apples. I don't know. There's so many sugar apples, dude, with so many mutations, but it's in there somewhere. But our grizzly bears are completed. They are done. So with that, I'm going to actually go ahead and spawn in a... not that, but I'm going to spawn in another chicken zombie, and I'm going to spawn in my queen bee to help with some of these cooldowns so we can get the rest of these pets done, and then we'll get ready for our AFK grind pets. But our first 2 chicken zombies here are almost done with their cooldown, so I'm going to go ahead and boost them and see if we can get the zombified mutation out of the way, and hopefully we can, because that would help us a lot, so we can get moving along, and then we could just get the bloodlet mutation done, gnome done, and bloom, and then we could be ready for our AFK grind. I mean, we really don't need to get these guys. We can actually just include in our AFK grind, but it's easier if we get them done now. So there's less to look around for later in the mix of a million mutations. But fall's at least done. We're going to see if we get the rest of these done. Hopefully we can get zombified done in the next 2 minutes, and we'll check back if we get it applied. If not, we're going to wait until we get something applied. So I'll see you in a second. All right, so my cabbage just went crazy, applied wet to a bunch of our carrots, and we finally got a bloodlet carrot done from our kappa. So we can go ahead and pick up these guys here, and we can go ahead and move this bloodlet carrot into the mix over here. And dude, my Spinos are about to eat real good. There's so many mutations for them to eat over here. They're gonna be sick to their stomachs. I mean, I'm sick to my stomach just looking at all these. They're gonna have to unfavorite everything over here. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up some of these extra carrots here that have mutations on them to get some of the mutations that we don't need out of the way. And then with that, I'm gonna go ahead and plant some more for our Spriggan to have an easier time, and some of our other pets, and that should be good. Now, hopefully we get gnome done, and hopefully we can get bloom done. I'm gonna boost our Spriggan there to get him out of the way. But since we have 2 extra pet slots, I am gonna spawn in another chicken zombie in the mix. Actually, I'm gonna spawn in 2 more chicken zombies in the mix, just so we can hopefully get the zombified mutation done and out of the way. And then once we get that done, hopefully we can get bloom and gnome done as well. That'd be very helpful. All right, our Spriggan should easily apply the bloom mutation in just a second. There's so many carrots next to him. I don't think he can fail this. There's no way he fails this, right? And just to make sure, I'm gonna actually throw some more carrots over here. Actually, he should be fine. Look at him. Yeah, there we go. There's plenty. All right, so we got some bloom done on carrots here. I'm gonna go ahead and pick him up, and we'll pick up a couple of these since we got like 4 of them done there. All right, I'm gonna pick up this bloom carrot here, move it into our platter. There we go, and our Spriggan is done. So now we really just have to focus on our chicken zombies giving us zombified, and if the gnome can give us gnomed, that would be nice as well. But I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in another... Actually, we already spawned in all of our chicken zombies, so I'm gonna spawn in a mimic octopus to help mimic the chicken zombies just in case, so we have all these opportunities to get the zombified mutation done. And as soon as we have it done, we're gonna move on to our AFK setup, get the rest of our pets done while the Spinos transfer everything over to our firewell and have the ultimate firewell and grow a garden. Hopefully this thing is worth it and worth a lot of money. Hey, thank you so much for that. More chakra. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and keep unfavoriting all of our sugar apples. I already unfavorited a bunch of them, but that way our Spinos will be ready to munch them down and hopefully move the mutations over to our firewall. All right, we finally got the gnomed mutation done and applied to a sugar apple, so we're good to go. Now, I realized that we can actually just get ready for our AFK setup. Like, we could have just been doing it already, but I wanted to try to get those 2 done so we had more spots for Spinos to get all this moved over to our firewall. But I think we're honestly fine, but I'm gonna go ahead and just see real quick if we do get the zombified mutation from our chicken zombie here. If we don't, then that's fine. We're gonna go ahead and just go forward with doing our AFK setup. But let's just real quick see if Shano here will give us our zombified mutation. If so, that'll be a little bit better because we'll have a little bit more space for some Spinos. But let's just see our luck. Let's see if we're lucky enough today to get this done. Bro, that scared the heck out of me. That was so loud for a second there. It made me jump. Tornadoes are scary. All right, Shano, come on. Let's get zombified so we have some more space for AFKing with Spinos, please. All right, failed. All right, I don't like you. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the other chicken zombies we have here then. And I mean, I guess I could boost these two just for an extra chance. I'll see if I get zombified, but if not, we're gonna go down to just one. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and get the rest of our AFK pets spawned in. So we're gonna use the junk bot to get the oil mutation, corrupted scarlet for corrupt, tranquil scarlet for tranquil, griffin for cyclonic, and then we can get maelstrom and storm charge, and the aromatic spaghetti sloth, so we can get the aromatic mutation, of course, that it has on it. But then we get sauce, pasta, and meatball to get the spaghetti mutation, and that is pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and also spawn in our first mega spinosaurus here, so it can start eating away at mutations and moving them over to our firewell. And we're gonna just see if we get zombified done. If we do, we're gonna spawn in 2 more spinos, but if we don't, we're gonna go ahead and just pick up one of these chicken zombies and spawn in an extra spino to replace one of these. But we'll see if we get it done. I'll be right back in 2 minutes to see if we get zombified done. All right, well, we did just get a frost event, which will probably ruin our chance to get ceramic done, but oh well, because our firewall here just got frozen. But let's see if we get zombified, maybe. Failed. What about you, Bella? Come on, Bella, please. Failed. All right, they both failed. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up one of them then. That's fine. And we're gonna go ahead and just spawn in another mega spinosaurus here. And then once we come back, when we get a couple mutations done, we'll spawn in these other 2 spinos to help. But that will at least get things moving along so we get everything added to our firewall. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up all these carrots then, since these chicken zombies are failing us. And we're just gonna get all these out of the way, so there's less mutations to worry about, or at least less mutated carrots for our spinos to eat off of, so they just focus on the fruits with actual mutations on them that we need. And there we go. We are now officially set up for our AFK setup. So we gotta wait to get zombified, oil, corrupt, tranquil, cyclonic, and then the 4 that the spaghetti sauce has: aromatic, sauce, pasta, and meatball. And we're gonna wait for all those. Spinos will start moving everything over to our firewall, and we should come back to a maxed out firewall, and hopefully it'll be worth some good money. So yeah, let's go ahead and AFK and let our spinos eat away. All right, so we just got back from AFKing. We let all of the rest of our pets get their mutations done, and we let all of our spinos actually move those mutations to our firewall. And now we're looking at this firewall with literally 49 mutations on this thing. But if we separate these things, we have even more than 49 mutations. So cosmic would bring us to about 50 mutations, spaghetti 52 mutations, abyssal would be about 53 mutations, infernal would bring us up to about, I think, 55, 56 mutations. I believe about 56 because there's a lot in that infernal mutation. So frozen would be at 57 mutations, paradisal 58 mutations, gloom 59 mutations, maelstrom would bring us to about 61 mutations, harmonized chakra 62 mutations, corrosive 63 mutations, and that is about it. So yeah, we'd be at about 63 mutations with this firewall with everything spread out. So this is definitely one of our most mutated plants. We pretty much have gotten every single mutation in Grow a Garden on this firewall. I guess the only ones we really didn't get is like ascended chakra, and we still need to try to get amber on it. But this thing is literally insane and has so many mutations. It better be worth a lot of money, dude. All right, but without further ado, I'm gonna actually use a magnifying glass on this thing first to see the value of it with all these mutations on it, and then we're going to attempt to use our raptors to get the amber mutation and see if the value will go any higher if we do get amber on it. So without further ado, we're gonna use my magnifying glass in 3, 2, 1, boom. All right, so with all of these mutations on this thing is actually only worth 2 trillion. Don't forget that this thing actually has Dawnbound on it and some of the best mutations on it, like Cosmic and Abyssal. And it's only at 2 trillion, dude. That is actually crazy. I expected this to be way more because it has this many mutations on it. And this is one of the new rarest fruits in the game. We've gotten better valued fruits from stuff in the seed shop. So that's actually kind of insane that it's only worth 2 trillion. Let's see if we can get amber on it though, and see if we can get it to be valued at a bigger amount. Now this thing might have actually been worth more if it was a bigger firewall, but we did get a lot of mutations on it, and it is still pretty big. So for this only being 2 trillion, I honestly did expect more, but let's go ahead and see if we can top it off by getting the amber mutation. All right, and we did not get the amber mutation. So we're just going to be at the 2 trillion value mark, which is honestly, I mean, it isn't bad, but for how much we did here, I feel like that we got kind of ripped off, maybe. Just like, look at this thing. But I don't know, maybe you guys feel differently about it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in 7 of these mooncats here that I have. All right, we have 7 mooncats. There's also new like pet loadout slots, so if I want, I could have like 1 for mooncats, 1 for my queen bee and butterfly. Since I tend to swap out pets a lot, it's easier for me to just keep doing it the way I normally do it, so that's how we're gonna do it today. All right, but anyways, now that we have all of these guys spawned in, we're gonna spawn in one of our triceratopses here, and now we're gonna go ahead and place our sprinklers down. So let's put our Grandmaster sprinkler, master, godly, advanced, basic, and we'll put our king cabbage right in there. All right, our moon cats are on it, which is good. The sprinklers are doing stuff. So while we wait for this to grow, I must let you guys know, I actually have a new channel that I started with a team called Bandites Movies. Now, this channel will include some old content mixed into long form videos of over an hour long. And I'll also have some new videos on there that you guys may have not seen before. So if you guys want to check that channel out, the link will be in the description, or you could just search up Bandites Movies and you should find it. We already have some videos uploaded on there. All right, so here is our king cabbage growing in. It looks pretty big. I don't know if this is going to be a multi-harvest. Let me make sure this is a multi-harvest fruit or not. Okay, this is a multi-harvest fruit. So whatever we get here, this will just be the plant, and then we get the fruits on it, I guess. I'm gonna go ahead and watering can it a little bit so we can get this thing to sprout up a little bit. So then our Triceratops here doesn't have to work as hard, and then he can focus more on just growing the fruits themselves. But looks like we're gonna have a pretty big one, because look at all of our mooncats just surrounding this thing. This thing is definitely going to be huge. So let's see how much progress our Triceratops actually makes on our king cabbage. So it's at 21%. Let's see what he gets it to. Okay, we got a double. So now it is up to... It's still going. It's still going. 88%. Okay, that was actually pretty good. Thanks, my guy. Oh, dude, we got a heat wave right now. I wish this was a little bit later when this thing actually had some fruits grown on it, but I guess this will be one free mutation done, so we don't have to use as many mutations when trying to get it to rainbow. All right, to help speed this up a little bit, I'm going to use my main account here to use its watering cans to get our king cabbage to fully grow in. So let's just get this thing to 100%. Whoa, it's moving. It's moving. That is scary. It's moving. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and use one of these medium pet toys on our Triceratops to speed up his cooldown a little bit, and that should also help us get another double hit so we can see how big this king cabbage will actually be. This thing is actually crazy cool looking. This is probably one of the coolest looking plants in this game, I'm not gonna lie. The fact that this thing moves around and it looks like you're opening up a portal or something, that's pretty cool. Oh, I think we got our king cabbage here. It's literally gonna take up the entire plant. I'm not even gonna be able to see the plant anymore. That is a big one. All right, well, let's see how much progress our Triceratops makes on it. All right, our Triceratops is about to hit it. Maybe we'll get another double hit so we can see how much progress this makes. Let's see. 33 minutes. That was it? That was it? That didn't even make a dent in this thing. What the heck? All right, well, since that 33 minutes literally didn't do anything, I'm gonna actually go ahead and use the grow all button here on my main account, because I think we're gonna be here for hours if we don't do this, because this is such a big king cabbage. Oh my gosh, dude, this thing is humongous. It looks like a giant egg. All right, I'm gonna really quick favorite it so I don't accidentally pick it up. We're gonna go ahead and pick up all of our pets here. We're gonna spawn in a queen bee to get her cooldown started, with a butterfly here to get this cooldown started as well. So the queen bee will cool down the butterfly, and the butterfly will convert all the mutations we're about to apply to this thing and convert it to rainbow. And then over here on my main account, we're also going to spawn in a queen bee over there, and also spawn in our kitsune, so that way whenever we get rainbow on this thing, we can apply chakra to it right away. Let's go ahead and apply some sprays so we can actually get this thing converted to rainbow. So I'm going to go ahead and use a pollinated spray, shocked, chocolate. We will use honey glazed, and then I'll have my main account just apply a windstruck on it, so we have a free extra mutation, since we don't really need the windstruck spray since we have a pterodactyl. And there we go. We have our 5 mutations on here now, and our butterfly will convert all of these to rainbow, and then we can get started and actually apply other mutations to this, so we can get the king cabbage to have every single mutation in the game. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and AFK and let our pets do the work to get this thing rainbow, and then we'll come back and start applying some mutations to it. All right, our queen bee just cooled down our butterfly, and now our butterfly just applied the rainbow mutation to our king cabbage. So now our king cabbage is officially rainbow. So we can pick up these 2 pets, and then we can go ahead and favorite this so we don't accidentally pick it up. Let's go ahead and apply some of our mutations back onto it now. So we're gonna put our pollinated back onto it, sprayed, burnt, chocolate, fried, and honey glazed. And then over here in our main account, we're going to apply wet onto it, so that way this thing can easily get bloodlet from our kappas, or hopefully easily get it. We're going to apply cloud touched, and we're going to apply verdant, and then in a little bit our kitsune from our main account should come over and then apply chakra to this thing. So far that brings us up to 10 mutations on our king cabbage, so it's looking pretty good. And now we can start using some of our other pets to add some other mutations to this. So I'm gonna go ahead and start spawning some pets in. So let's go ahead and start off by using 2 disco bees here so we can get disco done and out of the way. We'll go ahead and do 2 chicken zombies since this one usually takes a while. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and skip out on the cooked owl since we already have burn burnt and fried on this thing. So we're gonna go ahead and spawn in a corrupted scarlet and a tranquil scarlet. Since those guys have those mutations on them, we'll be able to get corrupt and tranquil onto our king cabbage. And then since the spaghetti sloth actually takes quite a bit of time, I'm going to spawn him in now since he has 3 mutations he has to go through. And we do have the new aromatic mutation on him. So this guy has about 4 mutations we'll be able to get from him. So I'm going to spawn him in now to start making progress on all of those. And then finally, for right now, we're going to spawn in our Raiju. That way, this guy can work to apply the static mutation onto our king cabbage. And to do that, we're going to spawn in the Raiju. We're going to go ahead and put a carrot seed down. And then we're going to apply the shocked mutation to our carrot. And then our Raiju will come over here, eat the shocked carrot, and then apply static to our king cabbage for that extra mutations. So yeah, we have quite a lot of work to do today. We have a lot of mutations to get through. So these guys will be our starting mutations, and then we'll get some more mutations shortly. And hopefully we'll be able to get a sandstorm, aurora, and also maybe a celestial. All right, so our kitsune is on the way over here to apply chakra to our king cabbage. There we go. We have the chakra mutation now onto our king cabbage. Look at that thing. That thing is huge. He's gonna go bring it over to my main account now. So let's see. All right, we just got regular chakra. We did not get foxfire chakra, which is fine. All right, so we just got static applied to our king cabbage here. So we have another mutation done and out of the way. So we're good there. We do have wet applied to this, by the way. So next up, we're gonna go ahead and pick up our Raiju. Oh, disco bee time. Hold on. Okay, failed. Anyways, we're gonna pick up our Raiju here, and then we're gonna replace him with a Kappa for now, so we can try and get Bloodlet done and out of the way before it is too late and we get this thing frozen by like a frost event or something. We do need the wet mutation to stay on this, so we can convert wet to Bloodlet. I believe if this does get drenched, that can be converted as well, but once it's frozen, it's over. All right, here goes our first mutation from the spaghetti sloth. Let's see which one we get. All right, we got sauce stunts. Now we just need pasta and meatballs, but thank you, spaghetti sloth, for your service. I gave one of my chicken zombies here a toy to boost his cooldown, and instantly when I did that, his cooldown finished, and then he applied zombified, so that is another mutation done and out of the way for our king cabbage. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these chicken zombies here, and we're gonna replace those guys with these new lobster pets, because these guys actually have a chance to apply molten every 15 minutes and then apply meteoric every 30 minutes. So yeah, that's a pretty long cooldown. It is going to take quite a long time to maybe get meteoric, but we're gonna let them sit here and try to get us meteoric, and molten should be a pretty quick one though. But that'll be 2 new mutations we can get on our fruits like we used to be able to do when Brighter helped us with these videos. All right, perfect. We got disco applied finally to our king cabbage, so now we can go ahead and just pick up these 2 guys. So our disco bees are done and out of the way, and next we're gonna go ahead and spawn in a corrupted kitsune so we can get corrupt chakra and then turn that into harmonized chakra. And then I'm also gonna spawn in a pterodactyl here, so we can attempt to get tempestuous done and added onto this. I'm gonna go ahead and plant down 3 carrot seeds as well. If our pets apply mutations to these, that's fine. Either way, our Spinosaurus will eventually eat the carrots and move this over. Our first lobster, by the way, just failed with molten, and our second one did. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and apply, I guess, I'll put down 3 carrots here, so we have more opportunity to get tempestuous out of the way, and then we'll have the Spinosaurus eat it and move it over to our king cabbage. All right, I'm going to attempt to give my pterodactyl in here a toy, and also I'm going to give this lobster one. There we go, I got him. That way we could try to get tempestuous a little bit faster. Let's see. Oh, okay, so he did apply Windstruck and Twisted to one of our carrots, and this is the one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this one up and pick this one up, and then tempestuous is done. I don't think he applied it directly to our king cabbage. No, we just got Windstruck, but that's fine. What we're going to go ahead and do now is pick up our pterodactyl here, and then we're going to replace him with a Spinosaurus. So the Spinosaurus will eat the carrots, tempestuous mutation, and then move it over to our king cabbage, so we have that one done. Let's see if these guys will give us molten and meteoric. I don't know if they'll give us both, but we have 2 chances for both right now. Okay, failed meteoric. What about our other friend here? He failed molten, and we got molten. All right, so we at least got one of them done. We got molten added to our king cabbage, but they did fail meteoric, which was kind of expected. Let's see what our spaghetti sloth does. Hopefully he actually applies a mutation this time, doesn't bug out. There we go. We got meatball added to the king cabbage. So we just need that pasta mutation, and then this will turn into spaghetti. Hopefully we'll be able to get meteoric done soon. I will spawn in some queen bees shortly once our spaghetti sloth gives us all of his mutations. All right, I just gave our spaghetti sauce the toy, and he instantly gave us the aromatic mutation from his mutated pet effect. So now we do have aromatic added on to our king cabbage for another mutation done, which is perfect. So once the spaghetti sloth here is done with his next cooldown, he should apply pasta, and then we'll have this thing to have full spaghetti on it, which will be fantastic. All right, we have some good and bad news. The bad news is actually that this frost event spawned in, and yes, this will get us frozen because we do have wet applied, but we don't want to get frozen because we're still waiting for our Kappa to try and apply bloodlet, although it's a very rare chance for him to. But the good news is that our spaghetti sloth is about to apply his final mutation, or hopefully he doesn't skimp out and just not give it to us. So our spaghetti sloth is doing his thing. Let's see if we get pasta. Hopefully we do. Okay, interesting. He applied it to the carrot, which is actually fine. I'm going to go ahead and just pick him up then. And we're going to spawn in another Spinosaurus here. And that way they'll just eventually eat that off of this carrot and then move it over to our king cabbage. Oh, and look at that. We're getting acid rain as well. I almost forgot that acidic was a mutation that you can get as well. So this might be a good one. We can get this added onto our king cabbage. All right, let's see. Did we get acidic added onto this? Doesn't look like it, unfortunately. What about this over here? Nope. All right, well, at least we got to experience the acid rain, but we did not get the acid rain. Okay, well, we've been trying to have our Kappa apply bloodlet, and we have had no luck because, as you can see, it is not on here, but that wet mutation that we had just got turned to frozen from this frost event, so our Kappa ran out of time, and he's kind of useless now. So we're going to go ahead and pick him up, get him out of the way. So we're going to go ahead and move on to our next pet here, which is the new junk bot from the Albert Stuff admin event. So the junk bot will actually have a chance to apply the oil mutation onto your plants. So we're going to let him attempt to apply the oil mutation next. All right, just like I expected, we have a nighttime event, which means we don't have to actually use our tanukis today because this should give us pretty much instant moonlit mutation on our king cabbage here. So let's just wait a second. Yep, there we go. Our king cabbage is now officially moonlit, which is another mutation done. All right, so I'm going to feed some toys to my pets here. So we got a toy on our corrupted kitsune, hopefully get corrupted chakra. I'm going to feed some to my Spinosauruses so they eat from this and move over pasta and tempestuous, hopefully. Let's see. Yep, perfect. We just got pasta and tempestuous, the exact ones we needed. So we can go ahead and pick up this carrot, and then we can go ahead and get rid of these Spinosauruses for now. I guess in the meantime, then, I'm going to spawn in a queen bee to finally help us get some faster cooldowns on all of our pets here. We'll spawn in one of these hot dog dash hounds here, and these guys will actually help with cooldowns as well with the queen bee. All right, we just got a double trouble mutation set done to our king cabbage. Both of our scarlets finally just applied corrupt and tranquil onto our king cabbage, so those are both done and out of the way finally. That took a couple hours there, but we can go ahead and pick both of these guys up now. So now it's pretty much just up to the junk bot to apply oil and these lobsters to apply meteoric, and our corrupt kitsune to apply corrupt chakra onto this thing so we can have harmonized chakra. But they did make some good progress. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is spawn in another hot dog dash hound here to help with cooldowns, and then I guess we'll spawn in one peacock as well. All right, we got some good news here. We got a heat wave event, but I guess this is also bad news because I literally can't get to the plant itself to put more tanning mirrors down inside of it. So hopefully it will hit still. I don't know. I guess we'll try and get as close as we can. Oh, okay, it just hit. We're good. We got it. Our king cabbage is now paradisal, which is a much better multiplier than just verdant itself. Okay, as you saw there for just a second, this carrot is actually lit up, and it is finally corrupt chakra. Dude, we've been waiting for these mutations for such a long time. It's been hours, and we finally just got corrupt chakra. We have not gotten meteoric or oil yet, dude. We're still waiting for these. It is taking forever. But since we did get corrupt chakra, I'm going to go ahead and pick up these carrots. I had them laid out, so we had more chances for corrupt chakra since it was taking forever. And then I'm going to go ahead and spawn in a Spinosaurus. So the Spinosaurus will eventually eat this corrupt chakra and then move that over to our king cabbage for that mutation to be added on there so we can get harmonized chakra. All right, so hopefully our Spinosaurus only eats the corrupt chakra from this carrot. I didn't realize we got pollinated from our queen bee. I've only had the queen bee out for cooldowns, but here we go. Please just eat the corrupt chakra. I've been waiting hours to get that one. And he ate the pollinated and he just put it right back onto the carrot. What is going on, dude? What is wrong with the pets today? I don't understand. Yo, we finally got meteoric added to the king cabbage, which took a very, very long time. So I actually thought that we maxed out on stackable mutations, because looking at the wiki, it says you can have up to 24 stackable mutations. I thought this thing was completely maxed out to the point we couldn't get any more mutations on it, but now I'm not very sure because we just got meteoric from our lobster added on to our king cabbage. Okay, he just did the same thing and reapplied pollinated again. Okay. I guess instead of the Spinosaurus, we might as well try the T-Rex, because our T-Rex will eat them and then spread them no matter what to multiple plants. I guess we can actually do like 2 T-Rexes and then maybe like 2 Spinosauruses just to guarantee that we can get corrupt chakra moved over. All right, our T-Rexes are about done with their cooldowns here. If they can't move this corrupt chakra over to our king cabbage, then I've kind of given up hope that we are able to get any more mutations on this thing at this point, because why is nothing going on to it anymore? So let's see if they actually eat and apply. Okay, there we go. We got corrupt chakra moved over finally, so this is good. We have harmonized chakra, so that is good. These guys are done with their business here, so I actually can just go ahead and pick up all these because that's all we needed. All right, and that is pretty good. Now, we pretty much just have to get oil done and added, but this junk bot has literally failed like 20-30 times in the last however many hours I've been at this. I've been at this for almost 5 hours, dude. I give up on the oil, dude. My head is killing me, and I just can't keep going on listening to him say, grow a garden 5 million times. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pick him up. I am gonna go ahead and spawn in 2 raptors to attempt to get the amber mutation. These guys have been aging quite nicely. They have a better chance now to get us amber. Not the best, but much better than they were at. And let's go ahead and take a look at our king cabbage here. So this thing is up to 22 mutations, but if we separate some of these, like tempestuous would have 23 mutations, spaghetti would make us at 25 mutations, paradisal would be 26 mutations, and then harmonized chakra would be at 27 mutations. So if we're able to get amber, would be at 28 mutations, and if we actually did get oil and some of those other mutations like aurora, sandy into ceramic, and celestial, we would be way past 30 mutations, and this thing would be worth even more. But this is a good stopping point, so we're gonna pick this up. Let's see if we get amber. Okay, we did not get amber. That's unfortunate, but we do have this gigantic king cabbage here, so I can only imagine this thing will be worth a lot of money. Hopefully we can get over 1 trillion, but I guess we'll see. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see the value of this thing with Steven, and hopefully we get some good money for it. So Steven, what would you give us for this big king cabbage today? All right, so this thing is worth 197 billion. I honestly expected a lot more than that just because of how many mutations we got on it and because of the size of this thing. But honestly, that's not bad. But for this many mutations, I feel like that should be buffed a little bit. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Is this a good value for this big of a king cabbage with this many mutations, or should it be buffed and be worth more? Also, make sure to drop a like and subscribe for bonus points, and I'll see you guys in the next video.